stream. No, I'm having existential crisis, actually. I guess stream started. Let me post this in that channel.
Oh yeah, where should we go to see the chat and stuff?
Just the F+'s main channel. Oh, hey, as usual, I forgot to mute that.
Let's go. Good.
Literally every single time I forget to mute that.
It's just extra frank.
It's just more frank for your money. But yeah, it's the F+'s main channel. I'll link that to you in Discord. I mean, yeah, here.
I should be following it. If I'm not following it, then I'm a dumb.
You're a dumb.
Well, you are a dumb. Like, let's...
Oh no.
You're dumb.
Hey, I was sick earlier. You gotta be nice to me forever.
I don't have to do anything for you.
God!
Well...
Frank just puts it out there.
Devil may cry, but Frank will be a bitch.
That's a perfect title for the story.
I wonder if there's something I should show for like 5 minutes to let people show up? I didn't really set that up in any meaningful way.
Let's see, we'll find some... Hang on. I'll find you something.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, no, I am following the F+. That's convenient.
Ooh, I know. Okay. Where is it?
Oh, those little sleeping...
how do I stream a... Are you going to link me a YouTube video? Because I don't know how to stream that without showing my entire YouTube screen, and I'm not willing to do that because all of my recommended will be furry porn. And I can't let people know that I watch furry porn on YouTube so much that Google just assumes that's what I'm looking for, and it's usually right.
Well, then I can't help you. I just do, cut out a little part of the screen and just show that. I was gonna have you show the Fighter Maker video and say this is pretty much what the combat
that's a good
and
idea.
character action games looks like.
YouTube cannot be found. That's okay. No, okay, there we go.
YouTube is gone forever. We did it, guys. We killed it.
Okay, yes, I will show this video, and that'll give everybody a few minutes to come in. Let me.
And they'll be like, "This is what Devil May Cry looks like."
What is it? Window capture?
That's what it is in XSplit. Capture screen region or whatever in draw a little box.
Oh, it's showing already. Okay, hold on. But it's like messed up, of course. I guess if it just shows the window, I have like a work window open, which I shouldn't. But I guess it won't show that. God, it's been a while since I've actually like done things. How do I select a section of the screen?
Oh, I just our box around the thing.
Right,
that's what XSplit has.
You do XSplit, which I think does it a little easier. Here's what I can do. I'll just be lazy.
Hear that? Frank's lazy.
Absolutely, I am. Jesus, it's so awful. The music is bad.
Whatever. Music's amazing.
So this is Devil May Cry 3, everybody.
This is what happens to Devil May Cry 3, which is why you're not streaming.
I guess I could talk about Devil May Cry 2 and stuff. I wrote up notes because I like reading about the development of games anyway. So,
also good.
So Devil May Cry 2 was like rushed into development, which is kind of weird.
It's not for Capcom, is it?
No, like usually you rush things out of development, but they were like, nah. Did it stop playing? It looks like the video stopped playing on the stream. Am I wrong?
No, I don't see.
Huh.
That's weird.
Okay, well, I don't know what that's about. Anyway.
Well, you can just put funny images on there then.
I'll do that next time. I'm too lazy to get them. And like screw up. So I'll just quickly talk about while people filter in. I'll give people a few minutes. I'll talk to you guys about Devil May Cry 2.
Okay.
So it had a few cool concepts in it, like fancy gun tricks and like putting a button on dodge and making cool dodges and shit and giving you mid-air combos, and all that shit made it into 3. But like halfway through development, Capcom looked at it and was like, "This game sucks." And everyone was like, "Yeah." And so they kicked off the director of Devil May Cry 2, who literally no one knows who it was. It is not. I would really like to know who the original
Mystery
director
man.
is. It is a totally mystery, dude. And they brought in Hideki Itsuno, a guy who previously had basically entirely worked on fighting games. Like he was a planner or director on like both Power Stones, on the JoJo fighting game, on Darkstalkers, on Capcom vs. SNK, Street Fighter Alpha, like a billion fucking fighting games. And he was like, so he did his best to salvage DMC2, but it still kind of was bad and came out and it was boring and slow. And it's probably worth noting that like before Devil May Cry 1, if 2 had come out, it would have been like a pretty decent game. But by the time, like a few years after Devil May Cry 1, everybody had learned from Devil May Cry 1 and it was shit. Like, especially as a follow-up to Devil May Cry 1. Like everything was boring. Dante like sat around and like didn't talk ever. And like his gimmick was he flipped a coin sometimes. Like that's his gimmick now.
Yeah, that's wacky.
It's very wacky. And there was like a lady and it's really stupid. So then he was like, but I guess Capcom liked what he did to salvage it because they kept Itsuno on to make 3 and he was the director for 3 and he was just like, I'm just gonna like make my own game, and it really shows that he made fighting games before because all the mechanics are fighting game like oriented. And I feel like that's probably long enough for everyone to filter in, so I'm going to go ahead and start. Oh, and I'm going to be playing on very hard because I'm not good enough to play on Dante Must Die and talk at the same time. But I'll show that off at some point because it's ridiculous.
Never take this to GDQ at this rate.
Heaven or hell, duel 1, let's rock.
Heaven or hell. Hey Dante, you're looking pissed off. Point that sword at me.
Oh, and it's... Oh, did I screw up? Hold on. I might have screwed up. Sorry, let me skip this. I think I didn't... Yep, I didn't put the game up. I'm really clever. Sorry, guys. Here, hold on. I will just...
There's some shit going on
don't
off
even
screen.
watch this. Why is this happening? Oh, because wow, and I started on mission 20 instead of mission 1. Guys, I'm really good at this. Okay.
Best streamer hat goes to Francois.
Well, ignore everything you just saw and watch this instead.
That's fine. I normally do. Dante's still pissed off at me.
Haven't you? The legend of Sparta. When I was young, my father would tell me stories about it.
Along the
ago,
way, Frank can
in
share
ancient
his
times,
anguish about this
a
port
demon
because he was
rebelled
sharing it with me
against
when he was
God.
for the sake
practicing.
of the human
I will
race.
definitely be bitching about this
With
port.
his sword, he shut the portal to the demonic
It's
realm
still, like, even with
and
everything I
sealed
did,
the
it's still
evil
very
entities
broken.
off from our human world. But since he was a demon himself,
This is
his
important
power was
backstory,
also
though.
trapped on
Please
the
don't
other
talk over
side.
it.
I never believed it. I thought it was just a child's fairy tale. But I discovered that this so-called legend wasn't a myth at all. Sparta existed. How do I know? Well, I met the sons of Sparta. Both of them.
Child's fairy tales about demons and evil,
Though the
whatever.
same blood of their father
You know.
flowed through their veins, the two
Hey,
battled
Sunday
each other
school.
fiercely like
To be fair, my dad
giants.
actually did read me Dante's Inferno and Purgatorio as a bedtime story.
It
That
seemed
explains
as
a lot.
if they derived
Yeah, doesn't
some
it?
sort of twisted pleasure from this brotherly fighting.
You did anime sword swings.
This game is very anime. It's extraordinarily anime.
The child's fairy tale, you know, manga.
Oh, they're pushing the sword so hard they're heating up. Oh, anime.
But in the
Oh
end,
god.
only one was left standing.
Brothers, am I right?
We've all been there. That's the end of the game. Dante died.
Dante must die. And he
He
did.
has to die, and he did, and we did it.
Good work, team. Well done, Vergil. Vergil the drippy demon.
Why? Why do? Oh no, I've seen this scene.
It's a pretty good scene. It's a good opening.
Okay, when it's done, I have a story about this scene. So look forward to that.
I have
Sorry.
so many mechanics to
I don't think
introduce.
this is bad.
No, I'll let you talk.
I haven't even picked a name for this joint, and I'm already getting calls.
By the way, stream watchers, let me know if audio quality is bad or levels are bad. If I need to raise or lower any noises, game audio or our audio, my audio.
You a customer too? Well, if you want to use
Basically
the
a Ninja
bathroom,
Turtle, really.
help yourself. The toilet's in the back.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, this was originally going to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game.
Yeah.
I mean,
They had to adapt it pretty quick when the original Devil May Cry took off.
replace it with a man.
He sent this invitation for you. Please.
He said RSVP.
Dante's demonic heritage means he's got no nipples.
It's true.
Invitation.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of demons breastfeeding online.
It's my favorite free-to-play MMO. Demons breastfeeding online.
The thing is, it would totally... it would become a thing.
Whoa, his mouth like a frog's mouth. Like what the hell?
Yeah, the mouths are a little weird in this game. Hey, there was
that
lip
difference.
syncing. It was new. Like, lip syncing was still a new thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if his head.
Oh, he's too cool. Just sticking in him.
This
The demon getting dragged away is really good, though.
Ever since my brother and me fought, I built up a lifetime of immunity to being stabbed by things.
Yeah, Dante doesn't give a shit if you stab him.
His brother hasn't actually stabbed him yet. That was a flash forward.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This game is really complicated.
He's gonna
plot.
hit it. He's gonna hit it. Yeah. Man, he's like super Fonzie. Put a dent in it.
Entering Super Fonzie mode. Hey.
I mean, just
Camille would totally approve of Super Fonzie. Oh, so that's why dumbass music plays every time he fights. He just has the jukebox with him all the time.
Yes. Speaking of dumbass music, one of the most obvious things that's still wrong with this port is the music. It will sometimes
Oh,
cut
yeah.
out. Sometimes it won't have the right audio track, and it'll play the main menu like choral theme. It causes crashes unless I go into the INI file and change the replays type.
oh, I love ports like that. It's like the fun of like a port is like, oh, what text editor do I have to do? What text editing do I have to do?
This is literally the worst port I have ever played, and like.
Wow.
It's so like Capcom. It was a time when Capcom basically didn't make PC games, and I don't really understand how this got ported to PC at all. It's kind of astounding it did, because like they literally didn't understand PC was the thing people played.
Yeah.
So, God, I don't know. The things I did to get this port working, I had to install the Style Switcher mod, which is a fan mod, which let me change some options that let the game run at all. I had to I couldn't set at certain resolutions. In fact, it didn't have any resolution settings at all, and it did not play in widescreen, but Style Switcher let me do that. To get the controller working, I had to go in and like type in the name of the controller as Windows sees it, because the way they did controllers was literally they took controllers and just like put their names in, and like if that exact text string is there, then it'll detect it. And none of those text strings referred to the Xbox 360 controller, which was the most popular controller at the time. Oh man, it's so Oh, to get the shoulder buttons working at all, because it doesn't recognize shoulder buttons exist, I have to have Joy to Key running and rebind 2 of the shoulder buttons to Q and E.
Wow. Good job.
Some of the music just didn't go in the port at all, so to get the whole soundtrack, I had to download it. Because, like, a person put it up somewhere. It's really bad. Anyway, sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, PC ports, it makes sense at a Japanese company. I mean, like, a Japanese company would be like, oh yeah, the PC, that's for just watching Nico Nico video and, you know, playing porn, you know, visual novels. That's not for video games.
So, this is like the pre-level setup stage. I guess I should explain it pretty quick, but I've got everything bought, basically, but these are items, actions. You can level up your guns, which is weird. You can make them more powerful.
Your power.
I'm gonna do the thing I did with Devil May Cry 1, where I pretend not to have all the weapons until I get them, mostly. Because I think that'll be more fun and let me show things. So for now, the only things I have are Rebellion and my pistols. And Rebellion is your basic sword. It is a... Can I see the... Where's the information button? Oh, you'll notice all the buttons say 1, 2, or 3. So Rebellion is, like, kind of, I think, implied to be Dante's, like, demon weapon in the same way that other weapons are made from other demons' power. It's like his. And when you start with it, it's... Oh, I will have Devil Trigger, which I'm not supposed to have yet, but fuck it. I'm gonna use it anyway.
Ambius.
That's why it's the Devil Trigger warning. Warning, Devil Triggers earlier in games. And it's supposed to be.
Oh, I probably should have explained. So one thing that this game has is styles. There's 4 of them, and then 2 bonus ones, and they're basically, they basically rebind your circle button to do different things. I'm using Trickster, which is kind of the basic style, which is about dodging. You have to level up the styles, but mine are level 3 by now, obviously. So it lets me do these, ground dodges, it lets me do air dodges, and it lets me run on walls, which makes me really invincible, but running on walls is pretty useless.
Whatever, it makes you look badass.
It makes you look really badass, but, like, it's really hard to trigger on anything that's not a completely flat wall.
It wouldn't have been so great if, like, the physics were all fucked up if you tried it on anything that wasn't a flat wall.
You just Spider Maker out.
Yeah, you just
incline. So can I, tell me, is it alright if I tell my story real quick?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I was in college, and we were in kind of the, like, the dorm that I was in was kind of, more of the nerdy guys were kind of there, but it wasn't like, there wasn't like a really nerdy group or club, so it was just, we were just happened to be there. So we would sometimes take over the TV in the, like, common dorm room to, like, play games and stuff. And at one time, some of the guys there, other guys in the dorm, brought some girls, like, there to, like, I guess wait in there and, like, talk in the common room. And somebody brought the PS2 and started playing Devil May Cry 3. And it came to that cutscene, and I didn't know these girls. I didn't really know the guys that brought them either. Like, they weren't, like, friends or anything, but I was just, the whole time, like, he's eating the pizza and skating on dudes. And this other dude, he's just kind of awkward, just like, oh, Dante, he's crazy. And I'm just, like, cringing, like, just like my insides are becoming, like, a singularity knot of cringe inside. Just like, ugh, this is,
To really appreciate stylish action games, I think you just need to accept that they're ridiculous and a little cringy, and that they take themselves totally seriously. And you just need to enjoy that.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, look how badass he is, he's shooting pool balls at people and eating pizza.
I mean, like, if I was in the dorm room with the other nerdy guys I roomed with, had a suite with, like, I wouldn't have minded, it wouldn't have been a thing at all. I wouldn't even thought about it, but because there were, like, girls from the outside, it's like, oh, I feel weird. This looks weird.
After that cutscene, you just hand her the controller and be like, so you in or what? You wanna play?
If you don't find Dante interesting, you don't find me interesting.
We're a package deal.
Oh, I should also add that this game usually lets you have camera control, which is a nice innovation. It doesn't really work that well, but it's better than the first game never letting you have camera control.
It's the thought that counts.
I was about to say, yeah.
I love Dante's little shrug. Like, oh. Ooh, cutscene.
You guys can talk during the cutscene, by the way. We don't need to do a usual one.
But I'm so transfixed.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
What about the pizza?
Hot. Where are your nipples, my bro? You want a quest to find your nipples?
They didn't want to make this adults only. They didn't want to show Dante.
He's just too sexy. Oh shit, that demon's ruining your pizza. Go fucking kick his ass. Yeah, that's right, kill him.
One hell of a party.
His jacket too is so freaking dumb.
He doesn't need a shirt. He just needs the jacket.
This is open.
Oh, they explicitly
open
designed
shirted.
him for sex appeal, and they said as much. And there's an unlockable costume where you're always shirtless.
Is this what's the guy's name? Zachary Quinn, I want to think, or what is the voice of the same voice of Raiden? It kind of sounds like Raiden.
No, this is Robert Langdon, who previously was not known for anything, and as far as I know is mostly only known for Dante. I think he's done a few other roles. But the interesting thing about Robert Langdon is that he apparently basically invented the character of Dante in this game. He did motion capture for this game, and he did the voice for this game.
Shirtless?
And he also did it for 4, and I don't think he did not do it for 1, is my understanding. But, like, they did a motion capture for all the cutscenes and for most of the moves, because, like, they had, like, a lot of martial arts cutscenes, so they went full in on the motion capture. And, what Robert Langdon, I think I've got his name right, says is, he was given a lot of direction on what he should do with Dante, but he was given so much direction by so many people that it was confusing and he didn't understand any of it. So he just did completely his own thing, and apparently like tons of this is ad-libbed. So
Nice.
Like
he's the Bill Murray of Devil May Cry.
Oh, so this is the action game equivalent of Curb Your Enthusiasm now.
There's
It's
a
just
lot of
all
similarities,
improv.
actually. We were kind of talking over, so you probably didn't hear, but at the end of the last cutscene, it was like, boom, 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 like right when he stepped on the pizza. You probably didn't hear that.
Where is the mod that swaps Dante's model out for Larry David?
I'd play that.
So for this level, I'm going to be using Royal Guard, which is kind of it's a weird style. The other 3 are all about like attacking in various ways. Royal Guard is almost like its own minigame, but basically the circle button here, I'll just go in game and show you instead of sitting in the menu longer.
That's fine. That kid has got titties. That's weird.
Damn it.
Means Kamiya and his IPs are very equal opportunity for sex appeal. It's not just the women that are naked. Dante
Yeah.
will get naked sometimes too. It's fine. We're all naked in these games.
Actually, there's one woman in this game, she's really cool, and I don't feel like she has that much sex appeal, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, she kind of does. She has a very short skirt, so it's probably just that it's Japanese sex appeal and not American, so she doesn't have gigantic breasts.
Oh, I love the slowdown shot of him putting his arm in the sleeve.
Yeah, he does like nunchucks with the sleeve. I love it.
I hope you all have enough to cover
Oh,
all
he's so
this.
wacky. Did all that cool stuff, and then he sneezed.
I think that you can see him gritting his teeth. A detail that was probably almost invisible.
He sneezed and the building fell down. Ah!
It's wacky.
Anyways, so
Goofy Dante. Demons don't have money.
I should probably add that there's taunting in this game. In this game, it gives you 1.5 of your Devil Trigger meter. And what taunt you do is dependent on what your style meter is at the time. So the higher style meter, the better taunt you do.
Ooh.
So watch out for those.
Watch it, I will.
Anyways, so this, what am I saying? Yes, Royal Guard. It's basically, it turns you into a block. Normal blocking kind of sucks. Here, someone attack me, please. Please? There you go. So I reduced some of the damage, but it doesn't really do much, and most attacks will actually break through that. But the real advantage is that I can, if I time it just right, which I totally didn't, there we go. I'm pretty bad at Royal Guard, but if I time it right, I'll do a parry, and I won't take any damage, and I'll build up a little meter. If you look at the top left, you'll see 3 spheres, and when that's like the damage of my Royal Guard build-up. And then I have a move called Release, which, if I do, will release all the stored-up damage. And if I time that right during an attack too, it'll do even more and more damage. So, like, you can build up if you block a whole bunch of attacks and then do a counterattack just right, you'll do ridiculous levels of damage.
Uh-huh. Neat.
Oh, and then there's one more thing this thing has, which is this move, which sucks. You'll see it in, I guess, a few seconds, but you just sort of hold up your hand, and attacks that are directly from the front that aren't too strong will be blocked, and you'll heal. But it's really slow to activate, and it has exactly one use in the entire game that isn't shit. So I probably won't even remember it exactly.
Good. But it's in there.
It is in there. You can, if you're like a noob, use it like against like a stationary obstacle like spikes or something, and you will end up... You'll like sort of keep blocking the spikes and regen health for as much as you want, I guess. Like, it's stupid, don't do that.
By the way, this music is strong.
It's really good, right? And you like it,
Yeah.
and you want to like listen to it on your iPod? Because you have an iPod because it's 2007?
I only want to watch Joe and Alistair play it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Good thing I showed
Concert.
In their RoCap concert, yeah.
that. If you land on a downed enemy, you can do a free ride move where you skate around on them, and if you have pistols equipped, you can shoot the pistols.
Oh, so the cutscene, you know,
Yeah, a lot of the
honestly,
things in the
no joke.
cutscene are things you can do.
Oh no, he was serving on an even.
That's great. That's great. You know, no joke. I hate when like cutscenes, like you do all this cool shit in cutscenes, and you go to the game and it's like, well, none of that'll happen. So I gotta give them real props for actually putting cutscene stuff in the actual game.
This is like the anti-Vergil Cerberus.
Yeah. Well, it's like in Mass Effect 2, which is a game I love, but there's this one like secret agent, kind of like assassin type character who like he does this whole cool cutscene where he like sneaks behind the target, and, like takes him out and like silently and does this like this whole thing, and I'm like, oh cool. So is that like his move? Like, am I gonna be able to send him off and do like a special like assassin attack of behind the lines? No, if he just pulls out a gun and fights like everybody else, I'm like, oh, fucking no. So
Yeah.
So I gotta love games where the cutscenes actually make it.
No, they're pretty specific about like everything that happens in a cutscene is something you can. Almost everything that happens is something you can do, or it's like you're interacting with something specific only in that cutscene. Oh, and another good thing about Royal Guard is that it's very good at canceling. You can just hit it in the middle of a lot of attacks and you'll cancel really fast, which isn't that useful with this loadout, but I'll use it later in the game. Anyways, this is our first boss, who is the... I've forgotten what he's called. But his main attack is to teleport at you, and otherwise he swings his scythe and blocks your shit.
Eldritch Chat has the, I think that's the most important question. Can you also rub your foot in a pizza in gameplay?
Well, you know, the pizza might be on the ground in the cutscene. Got him. Oh, the release! I'm about to do half his health bar with the release on the counter, just to show how powerful it can be when it's fully charged.
Swag kill.
Wow.
Yeah, it's... I think I got a
What?
perfect release there, so it did 3 times the damage that the release does.
Is that... Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it
was
goes
like,
straight into the
nuke?
cutscene. The game doesn't fucking wait around. No, that's not...
No,
It's... You thought it was like the attack that I did that?
Well, no, I thought it was like a nuke or something. Like, did you get enough kills to unlock tactical nuke or something?
Yeah, I got 25 kills,
so
so it's
hard
tactical.
to summon the leading power of pizza.
It's also worth noting that that last stage is like kind of the most basic stage. It's just sort of a... You get right into the
It's been nearly a
fighting.
year since we
People,
last met. Where
almost
does
every
the time
combo
go?
video made of this game is just entirely on that stage.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's weird. Why is that up there?
Oh, I'm being told his name was Reuben Langdon, I guess. Unless that's a joke.
Where's the time go? Much like my nipples. Where my nipples go?
Brother.
I'm gonna be right back. I have to pay for a professional stream.
This scene is intense for Frank.
Talk shit about me all you want.
Fun plan for me.
Can do.
Vergil?
Boy, that Frank sure is... Frank.
He doesn't have video game.
He wants a video game but he doesn't have it.
It doesn't have a video game.
You should get that video game.
Why Vergil being such a dick? Oh, that's a snaky or something, or a whale? That whale's made of pants.
Maybe you're at a place I'm not, because I'm not seeing it. What is that? Ha! Cab. Cabs! We need to order some cabs.
Abs. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Here I come back to my desk. Sure hope no one's talking shit about me. Headphones
Oh.
on.
Oh man, I almost got caught.
Whew. Good thing I announce my presence every time I walk in a room, right?
That's what I love about him.
That's one of my defining features. There we go. Cords got tangled somehow.
We can tell you're here because every time you come into your room, you go, "That's hilarious. That's great." Dead Rising.
So now it's like, well, clearly we need to show that his brother Vergil is a badass, right? Also, his name is Vergil. I guess we don't know that yet, but whatever.
Well, doesn't it excite you? The Timinagru has revived. The Great One, who once ruled this earth as the medium between the human world and the demon world. Isn't it a
Is this stream real?
magnificent
It is
vision?
real. I'd stream Devil May Cry 1 too, but it's on my own channel. But then I realized I could do it here for more views. This is my step up to being Twitch famous.
Edifice.
If you like this, you should go watch the other one on my YouTube channel.
Millenniums of
If it's bad though, don't do it.
It can at
The,
last
pro
fulfill the purpose for which
the
it
proper
was
response
intended.
was, no, this is just a video game.
Yeah. No, yeah, shit. No, this is not real, guys. This didn't.
This
happen.
did not happen.
Of course.
Or did it?
Is this happening right
He's
now?
taking good care of it.
Is this Trump's
Coming-
America?
coming
Temin
at-
rising from the
It
ground?
is the only memento
I
left
am
from the Mother
eagerly awaiting when Kamiya eventually tackles the Trump presidency through video game.
I mean, that was Metal Gear Rising. Is the thing? It just happened before
Kinda,
Trump.
yeah. It's true. He does say "Make America Great Again."
He literally says it. It's
Yeah.
It's like literally Trump. It's crazy. It's Trump only like actually fit.
Nanomachines, son.
We have the best nanomachines. No one is better than nanomachines.
Sad.
Look, all of these news stories about me meeting with the Patriots is fake news. Didn't happen. Wrong.
Oh, here's the thing I should tell you now. Oh yeah, there's some fucking Z fighting on that man's face. Every cutscene has a thing which you'll see right here. Every opening cutscene has the number of the stage you're in hidden in it. For some reason.
That's cute. Whoa, that dude's face was jiggling.
Yeah, it's supposed to sort of be moving, but because this port is awful, sometimes it Z fights itself instead. And looks like that.
It's out of the demons.
So yeah, if you look at these demons falling over, you'll see, in a moment, you will see the number 3. And I actually played through this whole game several times before I saw like one of those numbers, and then I was like, hold on. Let me check
You
something.
should forget.
Oh yeah, they do.
Right?
That's great.
It's really good. I don't even know why they did it. They just... I think it's because it's supposed to be kind of cinematic, and it's like chapter 3 or something. I don't know.
That's cute.
Okay. Wait, did I switch styles? Did I literally just forget switching styles 2 seconds after I did it? Yes. Okay. So I'm using Gunslinger, which is actually the most like Devil May Cry 2, and that Devil May Cry 2 did a bunch of fancy gun stuff, and they put most of it in this.
And see the
I'll show off more Gunslinger in a second. I'll show off the moves after this fight. But first, these dudes. These dudes are the worst fucking dudes in the world, and I hate them.
probably none too fond of you either.
Well, they don't
Why would,
seem
you
to
get
be.
real Why would you get real estate on 06 Slum Avenue? I mean, come on.
Come on, guys. This was
Just
a poor
saying.
business choice.
These guys got eyeball heads.
So those arrow dudes, they will fire blue arrows, which sort of arc upwards and hit around you, and red arrows, which target you directly. And there's some weapons that let you deal with them better. I might just double trigger to kill them, honestly. Because without some weapons, at this difficulty level, they're pretty good at nailing you, so... There you go. Also, there are some explosive barrels. I already blew up 2 of them. There's a 3rd one in the corner. And this is the only time there's any explosive, like, anything in the game. So I don't... It's just a really weird touch. I don't know why it's there. I don't know why hobo barrels are
just abandoned it. Again, the music's really great.
Yeah.
I think
Taste the blood, taste
when
the
Dante.
fate.
Isn't this the music that plays when Dante gets swapped out in Marvel vs. Capcom or something?
I think it is. That is a remix of this.
In the back of my Dragula.
They would have put it in here if they'd known.
Music by Bob Zombie. See, it's copyright distinct.
So, I'll show you some of the taunts at different style levels as it falls.
Come and get me. Come and get me.
Yeah.
On, wimp.
So there's a few. This game is not as. It doesn't try and be as atmospheric in terms of like Resident Evil style descriptions on things. So there's a lot less like environmental details to look at, but there are a few, like right here, which implies that everybody in this fantasy New York is fucking dead, which is great. Oh, let me blow up this last barrel. Bullseye bar. Let's get in there. Oh right, I know what I'm waiting for. I'll wait till I get the other thing in here though. So this is a blue door, which means there's a puzzle, and what the camera's supposed to be focusing on is the shotgun hanging on the wall, but it's not there anymore. But there is. This is probably the only time this game really gets very descriptive with its things is when you examine these bulls on the wall. Sorry, oxen on the wall. Could this hint at 2 powers in conflict?
Maybe.
So like, that's like I guess a reference to the plot of the game, in that like Dante and his brother Vergil are in conflict, and they're both similar. So I don't know. It's like the only time something like that shows up.
they just didn't commit to it. They're like, wait, we're not fucking doing Resident Evil anymore. Why did we do this?
Yeah, it's really weird that they put it in there, and like, there's other things you can look at, but like they're not that descriptive. When you break this jukebox, it plays the battle song from Devil May Cry 1 for a moment. But behind here is the switch we have to open.
Huh, that's cute.
So hanging on the wall here would be the shotgun, which I already have equipped. It's pretty similar to Devil May Cry 1's shotgun. You can cancel it by jumping. It's really good. Oh, and I'll show off my gunslinger moves now, because what the hell. So with pistol, with gunslinger, if you keep firing, you'll get like a slightly more powerful attack. If you hit the style button in midair and mash it, you'll do this, which is cool. You can hit the style button to shoot in multiple directions. What else am I forgetting? Oh yeah. If you charge up your shot, you get charge shots for a bit. You have to hold down the shoot button, which is kind of difficult to do in this game without rebinding. I think that's everything. Shotgun also gets a rapid fire, but it's a lot less noticeable. It also gets a charge shot, which is kind of amazing. It gets fireworks where you swing the shotgun around you like a nunchuck and it shoots. That's how it works. And it gets Gunstinger, which where you do Stinger but with your shotgun, and if you hit it repeatedly after that, you can go into firing 3 really powerful shots. Oh, I guess I should explain Crazy Combos really quick. Sorry, there's a lot of mechanics. I promise I won't do this for most of the game. So there are some moves where while you're doing them, if you mash the button, you'll do a Crazy Combo, which looks like this. And basically, it means that you'll do a different attack, and you can usually mash that attack. And for some attacks, you can just do them straight, but for some attacks, you'll need to buffer them. Meaning that you'll have to be doing another attack and mashing during that attack, which is very fighty gamey. Naturally.
Yeah.
So, Gunslinger's probably my least favorite style, but it's got, it's kind of 3 different styles depending on which guns you have equipped, but Shotgun Pistol is probably the most mobile and my favorite of the 3. Oh, you can swing around stripper poles and then do an attack off them if there's anyone close. Because, of course you can.
The chat was asking what system is he on.
Oh yeah, this is PC, the PC port.
Whee! Swing around.
Well, now we know why Dante never got a short-term job as a stripper, or why it was a short-term job, I guess. I don't think you quite get the idea.
He's halfway there. He's already got his shirt off for no reason.
It's true.
Oh, he hid behind the pole there and made clever. I should probably explain enemy height at some point, huh? If I jump right when I hit an enemy, I will jump off them. That's hard to show off with these weapons, I think, but here, I'm doing it some. And the really fun thing about that is that it interrupts attacks. So I can do an aerial attack and then cancel it and then do another aerial attack. Oops. Let me... Ah. I'm failing. It's hard. I find it hard to do with this particular sword, but... There we go, I did one. I'm not great at them. Real professional players of this game would be very, very good at them. Oops. Shit. I'm so bad with Gunslinger. I always let go of the attack button when I don't want to with this weapon, with this style. People always saying that about me. Like, you're just no good at gunslinger, Frank.
You're just give up the dream, Frank. Instead.
I forgot the coolest move in this style.
Forgot to face your father.
I'll clear out some of these people so I can actually do it. There we go. So one thing you can do with this style, if you equip pistols, and someone's on the ground, and you fire at them a lot, you'll do Wild Stomp, where you just sort of unload into them. And it's really cool, and it's not terribly practical, and you can buffer into it while jumping, and then land and do it immediately. It's the stylish way to do it. It's kind of a useless... It's one of those moves that only exists for style. But that's fine, because style is what this game is about. Okay, so... oh no, first I have to do this. I'll explain a few more things that we won't be seeing in this game. Whenever you pick something up once, it's gone for all difficulties. In here would be a big red crystal thing that I can break for crystals, and there would be more of them throughout the game. But they're all gone now, naturally. And up here would be a combat educator, which is like a statue that I need to hit with a specific weapon and get to a certain style ranking, and then it'll break and give me a blue orb, which will give me health. But I already got all of them too, so... I won't really mention them again, probably, but I just thought I'd mention them.
Just so you know, they exist. Sad anime boy, what are you talking about? Dante's having the time of his life.
Dante is like the opposite of a sad anime boy. Vergil is the sad anime boy, really.
Yeah, chat's takeaway should not be that Dante is sad. He is clearly fucking
Dante
hyped
loves
the entire
this.
time.
The game is very explicit about it a couple times. Like, Dante feels sad for a bit, and then he's like, no, wait, demon killing is awesome! This is our first secret mission. A good thing about secret missions in this game is that, like, they are hidden, but they're findable. It's not like the first game where you had to, like, find a piece of wall that was identical to the rest of the walls and interact with it. Like, in this case, I used a door, and it was sort of a notable door. They're pretty much all, like, a weird thing that you can interact with. And this one's pretty basic. You just need to defeat the enemies with the time limit. I'm not sure I can do that in Gunslinger, but I probably can. Rather, I'm not sure I can do that in Gunslinger while looking cool, so I might be kind of lame here and just do a bunch of basic attacks.
Right, because we're concerned about looking cool.
This game's about looking cool.
True.
That's all this game is about, really. There's a point where you can beat this game pretty handily. It's about doing it while looking cool and on a high, like, getting good ratings in the game's ranking system. I think I did it. There we go. So, I swear, like, last bit of constantly talking about mechanics for a bit. I'm switching to Swordmaster now, and Swordmaster is probably my favorite style. It is my favorite style, and it makes your style button do, like, more melee attacks with your weapon. So this is probably a good place to talk about all my Rebellion's attacks. It's got its basic combo, it's got its sort of area attack combo, it's got its stinger, which is probably its best move. It's really long and does a lot of damage, long range. It's just awesome. It's got high time. Oh, and if I hold the attack button down, it does this move, which is called Drive, which is really shitty and I probably won't use it very much. But there's one part of the game where it's really useful. And its Swordmaster style moves are this, which is a juggle, this, which is like a huge sequence of combos, and what else? Oh yeah, Sword Pierce, where you throw it and it goes into an enemy and does damage for a while, and you can switch to your other weapon. I should add that you can have 2 guns and 2 melee weapons equipped and switch between them on the fly. So you can Sword Pierce someone and use your other weapon. And it also gives it an aerial combo, which is why I'm switching to it for this next fight. Because literally on your first time through, if you don't have Swordmaster equipped, it's the only move you can do that hits this guy most of the time is to jump up and do this diving attack over and over. Which is miserable.
Which sucks.
It's like it's literally the only attack you can hit him with most of the time, but if you use Swordmaster, you can do your mid-air combo. But if you don't realize that, because you're not using Swordmaster yet, like, this boss fight is actually like a super miserable, incredibly hard boss fight.
Have to get his ass busted.
Oh yeah, I remember this exhibit in New York.
We've moved out of New York now and into the Demon Tower.
Oh, okay.
Which is a thing in New York, if you've ever been. The locals never visit the Demon Tower in New York. It's crazy.
It's just that ever-changing, ever-morphing Chrysler building that's full of evil mitochondria goo.
It's worth noting this guy's name is Cerberus, a character who shows up in the Divine Combat.
What are you talking about? Oh, he talks too good.
Easy, Fido. How about I take you for a walk?
Also, something I didn't notice, that I guess I'll just say here. Trish in the first game is short for Beatrice, the character from Dante's Inferno. Something I literally did not notice until I read it on Wikipedia. So, this dude has 3 heads, and each one of them has a different special attack that they will do if they're rotated into place. And he's also got ice that covers him, and yeah, they rotate. It's really weird looking.
Enhance your health use with the Lazy Susan.
You got spinning heads.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but who? I was too enamored with Dante during the cutscene. Who was the Beatrice? Where was Beatrice reference from?
Trish from the first game.
Oh, Trish
is short for Beatrice.
Beatrice. Huh.
Yeah, I didn't realize it, but that's where that name is from.
Huh. Sure.
And of course, Dante and Vergil are from there.
Oh yeah.
Mundus is not. But this game actually has a lot more references to Dante's Inferno than the first game does.
Get out of here, doggy.
He'll periodically recode himself with ice, which I think he's about to do. No? That's strange.
One of the heads was doing it a little bit.
Yeah, oh that's right, they did it once. Here we go, he's doing it again. Oh, and if you hit the feet enough, he'll fall over and be vulnerable for a bit. But I don't usually go for that, I usually just do it accidentally, periodically.
Weird looking.
I guess I should add that if you lock on and hit left or right, you'll do a roll, which makes you pretty invincible, which was also in the first game. Oh, I should also add, like in the first game, jumping gives you some invincibility frames. Unlike in the first game, it gives you a shit ton of invincibility frames, to the point it's kind of ridiculous. So if you see me jump and just like not get hit by things, that's very much an intentional thing that I'm doing. It's ridiculous how good jumping is. In fact, the icicles is probably one of the only things that it's worth like trying to roll dodge instead of just jumping. And if you break one of the heads, that head will obviously not be available for its special attack anymore. Oh, I broke one of its head with a pistol shot.
Oh no, my head come off.
Oh no, my head. I should thaw the doggo and be friends. Well, it's funny you say that, because that's kind of how it works when you beat someone in this game.
I acknowledge your ability. Take my soul and go forth. You have my blessing.
This dude was like, wow, you killed me. Sick. I'm your weapon now. That's how, I guess that's how demon relationships work.
I mean, that's how it works in video games all the time. Like, you beat the shit out of me, we're friends now.
So naturally, every time Dante gets a new weapon, you have to do like a cutscene to show how cool it is.
I mean, obviously.
But then right after that, we get a cutscene where Dante meets the best character in the game.
Blade Wolf?
She's not as good as Blade Wolf. And nobody's as good as Blade Wolf. Blade Wolf is the best character in all of video games.
Are you going to the party? What's the hurry? Didn't you get an invitation?
Ryu, I have not covered Devil Explosion yet. I'm gonna get to it. I'm trying not to spill too many mechanics at once, but I do want to show just how fighting gamey this thing is and how many weird mechanics it has.
This is how all the women in Dante's life say hi.
Yeah, pretty much. They're trying to run him
kill
over
him,
with a motorcycle, specifically.
Dante is
This is so stupid.
And she's got different colored eyes because she's an anime.
Because she's an anime.
This just keeps getting better and better.
Well, the number of shots that get fired at the ending cutscene, or to go into the ranking screen, is a key. You get more gunshots on the screen if you have a better rank. I'm not really going for rank though, so it's not surprising that I'm only getting Bs.
So, like, at this point, does Dante not entirely know what's going on in the...
All he knows is that this dude showed up, that dude named
Okay.
Arkham, and was like, hey, your brother has sent you an invitation, and then he was attacked by a bunch of demons,
like
and then the
we
tower
have
rose out of the
one
ground,
brother,
like, I
yes.
guess a block from his place? Which is pretty close.
Yeah, you.
So, even though he has no idea really what's going on, particularly, he's just like,
I'm afraid
that's cool.
Yeah, he's like, okay, sick, there's demons that way. And he's also like, I guess my brother's
that
that
is
way.
what you want.
Brother!
Actually, I happen to be acquainted with that woman. A storm is approaching.
This is a cutscene where you get to see Arkham's face scar move around a bit better without being glitchy. So, let me just check. Because I'm a nerd, so I wrote notes to remind myself of things to equip, just so I show off everything well. And also because I never remember what level is which.
That guy's made a pizza? Weird.
I've got everything equipped. Yeah, so now I have Cerberus, which is a three-part... One of the two... There's sort of three I consider more standard weapons and two weirder weapons, and it's one of the two weirder weapons. It doesn't have like a lunge... And we're also in Temin Negru, the Demon Tower, where we will be spending almost the rest of the game.
I'm fine with that.
And we're gonna see a whole... This game does have a lot of environmental Resident Evil-esque puzzles, but I actually think it's better at them than Devil May Cry 1. They're less of a focus. But I think there's a lot more instances where you can fairly say, oh, I have this item, and I can remember where to use it, and I remember how to get there, because I've been paying attention. Whereas in Devil May Cry 1, it was a lot more like, I'm wandering around.
Yeah, a door opened somewhere, that fucking video game shit.
Yeah.
Sounds like something happened somewhere. It's like, cool, tell me where and I'll go where the thing happened.
Let's get
It
it.
feels like a door unlocked.
It's a statue of unhappy angels.
It's a massive statue, decorates the center of the tower. The skeletal angels appear to be smirking, according to the description, which I don't buy, but...
Well, I mean... Everyone in this game is kind of smirking, except for Vergil. Except for Vergil, that's how you know he's a bad guy.
So the thing about Cerberus is it's a very long combo that is several parts, and it's very cancelable. You can just like switch away from it whenever you feel like. It just kind of keeps going for a while. And it has a second combo, where it's a bit more area of effect, and you can crazy combo it. It's got... Instead of having a dive forward move like every other weapon in every other Devil May Cry game ever, it just has a sort of spin move that does a lot of damage. Its mid-air move leaves you in place, which is very useful. What else? Oh yeah, and it's got this move, which is like a deflector move, which I never use, but I guess it deflects things. I literally don't know why you would use it, but... Oh yeah, sorry. It's also got Swordmaster moves, which are these. That's its normal move. It's got this, which you can crazy combo into this, and it's just sort of a very slow but powerful attack. And its back Swordmaster move makes you invincible for a really long time. Like... Now what it doesn't have is a purchasable double jump. It and the other weird weapon in the game don't have a double jump. So if I want a double jump, and I'm using the Cerberus, I have to switch to Rebellion to do a double jump. Which is a weird... I kind of like
weird.
It's very weird that it's not like Dante's ability, but it's... And you have to purchase the double jump for each one of the weapons, too. Oh, it's still got the... This game still has a feature where if you dive off the edge of something, you'll do a lunging jump thing. But yeah, so Cerberus is very cancelable, and with Swordmaster, it sort of becomes a slow but powerful magic item, kind of. Oh, and I guess I was talking about Devil Trigger Explosion. I'm holding my Devil Trigger button, and if you look at my bar, it's building up red orbs. That's like the potential damage. And if I let go when it's full, there'll be a big red circle, and that move does a ridiculous amount of damage, but it uses up all the Devil Trigger. I won't be using that much, because on this difficulty level, it's kind of just clears out a room for free, and that's not very fun. So I probably don't use it very much, but it's there.
Yep.
Gmod it out there for a second.
Master Brilliant says Dante, of all people, should know what smirking looks like. That's true. It's just kind of what his face looks like all the time.
Also, Millie, yeah, he totally did the Bruce Lee scream earlier.
Yeah, he does the Bruce Lee scream when he does that.
Which I appreciate.
Oh, a nice thing about this move is that it puts you in midair, so you can jump cancel off it, like so. If you hit with it, if you're close enough to hit with it, right? Oh, when your sword's piercing somebody, you just get a kick. or a dive kick, and they do very little damage, but they're there. And it comes back to you after a while, or you can call it back. I hope you're ready to see why these dudes are the worst enemies in the game.
Great.
Wow, he had one stored. One good thing is that you can break those. You can break their arrows in midair, and it gives you a lot of styles too. But it's pretty hard to do.
I do like the designs of them though. They're just like, how about random arms and eyeball?
Yeah,
and
they're really cool. Once I finish off this room, I'll show you something neat about them. Oops, that's not the move I wanted.
I love how when you end a battle sequence, it just cuts right to the somber music after being butt rock for like...
That's the power of demons. When there's no demons around, it's regular.
I just picture like the soundtrack composer like being asleep, like the room, and then this thing goes, oh yeah, right.
He's just like dozing, playing a CD player.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like how Mario 64 has Lakitu following around that explains the camera. Maybe there's like a demon Lakitu that's like playing the music. It's
Well,
like
then
a
he
DJ.
needs to do a better job on the fucking camera.
No, it's the ghost from Mario World that dangles the ectoplasm, except it's dangling like a demon camera.
Ooh.
Like, it's like a regular camera, but the front of it looks like a face going grrr.
Oops. God, this room's camera angle sucks too. I really hate this room, honestly. It's very bad. You go through it
So
several
you
times.
said you could kind of control the camera, but it looks like they've still been kind of like locked, like.
Well, like in this room,
pre-rendered-esque.
it's locked, but in other rooms, it lets me control it. I think it might let me control it towards the door of this room. Let's see. Nope. No. So in this room, it's locked. But like in other places, it's not. And I can control it with the right analog stick, or I can just click the stick in to put it behind me, sort of. Anyways, the cool thing I was saying is, if you look, these statues here on the wall are actually the enemies I'm fighting, but like curled up in inactive.
Looking, yeah.
I don't think they ever actually have one come out of the wall, which you'd expect they would, but
I guess they're like, this will save on resources. Just make them into statues.
Well, it is kind of a neat. I like that. It's like a neat thing of atmosphere. Whereas in Devil May Cry 1, it was just like, there's puppets. I don't know, whatever. Whereas this is like, oh, this is like, these are coming from the walls. These are part of the tower. Whereas the other thing is like, I don't know, they're like dogs.
Yeah.
They got stretchy face.
This game actually has a lot, like, it doesn't have the item descriptions that the other game did. So it's easy, and it's got so much action going on that it's easy to overlook, but I think it's actually got a pretty decent amount of atmosphere. Oh, and here's our first puzzle. It's a very tricky puzzle.
Shiny in a cage.
So if we hit the switch, then the elevator tries to go, but it can't. So what's the solution to the puzzle?
Beat up the elevator.
Kill all the statues.
Yeah, it's just you destroy statues.
Oh, well.
That's not much puzzle.
Demon elevators.
I should say you don't need to know like half the shit. Oh, here's a room where I can control the camera. See? Well, until the elevator goes up and then I can't. A lot of the shit I'm talking about you don't need to know to beat the game on the normal difficulties. But like the amount of control the game gives you, you just kind of keep getting better at it, which is why I like playing it so much. But Millie was asking if this game seems complicated. Is it as complicated as it seems? This game gets very hard on the harder difficulty. This is the second hardest difficulty, but the hardest difficulty is a million times harder than it for some reason. These dudes up here will do a Slav squat until you actually go over and down the hallway. They will just sit there.
music.
This music is badass.
I know we've talked about it before. Jesus.
It's really good, you're saying. It's like the best music.
Yeah, like it's the most amazing music you've ever heard.
I honestly think that this game would not be the same without, like, bad butt rock. I think stylish action games need incredibly cheesy music you wouldn't listen to ordinarily.
Oh, believe me, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I guess I should introduce these enemies. The tall dudes are, like, they're... I suppose I should just do this real quick. Keep track of who. Everybody in this game has a file. There's a lot less on them than they were in the first game. And it's pretty clear that someone was contracted out to write the files, because some of them are wrong. And they're all very poorly spelled. But the first level, this is the standard guy. He doesn't have much health, and he sucks. And he's Pride. Each one of these is representative of one of the 7 sins. We haven't met them yet. Wrath is the one with the bomb, which if you stand next to them for a really long time, they'll throw it down on the ground. Sloth are the dudes I'm fighting right now. They don't walk. They will jump sometimes, and they'll teleport to slash at you. And they have a lot of health, but they'll never walk. We haven't met Greed. Gluttony is the dudes we met in this room. They have like a long-range sand attack, but it's really shitty. And Lust are probably the best of them. They're the fast ones, and they have a bunch of diving attacks, so... Those are the enemies we've been fighting.
They give you a kiss.
Normally you'd expect enemies like, oh, it's Gluttony, they're like fatty fat bats, but it's just like, no, they're just other demons that jump on you. It's fine. Yeah.
It's also worth noting that the red hands in this game from the doors actually will hurt you, and, like, they're pretty aggressive, so if you fight near a door, you will get hit.
I don't think they did that in the first one, did they?
No, they would reach out at you, but as far as I know, if they have an attack, I've never been hit by it, so it must be really short and slow. But in this game, like, there are some fights where I'll beat up a dude so much they'll be at a door, and then, like, the door is stopping me.
The door's like, I'll save you. Come here, you.
Another really great atmosphere... Wait, where is it? It's this button. Every room in this game has a name. Like, this room is called Incandescent Space. You'll see the name show up when I go in, like, the lower left
Soul's
corner.
Mystery Lab.
Yeah. Garden forgot by time.
So the game's still trying to get you situated, so it'll do camera pans to places you can go. Which item did I pick up? I always forget. I don't have an item yet. What's the name of this room? This is the Chamber of Echoes.
Chamber of Echoes.
Which is like, okay.
Also, the jewels in this one look even sillier than the ones in the first game.
Michael Rooker's red face is pissed.
So they lock you in this room. They give you this little tooltip about stealing your soul, but you actually have to fail. There's no way to succeed this. With the right moves, you can. With the right moves, you can make it over there, but you can't open the door anyway. So it literally doesn't matter. And this room has a bunch of later level enemies that I'm not going to introduce right now. Including, like, probably my favorite enemy.
Weird cat furries made of meat. They do need to die. That's my true form.
They're very squishy. They make squishy sounds.
They do make a lot of squishy noises. But I'll show off the fancy Swordmaster Rebellion combo on this dude. So yeah, but if you fall down there, your punishment is fighting dudes, but you actually have to fall down there the first time, so... And, So if we go in this room, we instead fight like the lamest boss in the game. He's not the worst boss. He's just sort of lame. It's Gigapede. Everybody's favorite Gigapede.
Ooh, hi,
Hey.
Mulgera.
Oh, hey, final, hey, that one alien in New York from Avengers.
So you can get on his back and try and knock you off, and he has a couple different electricity attacks he'll do sometimes. He's also more vulnerable on his head and will take more damage there. Most bosses have like a vulnerable spot or something you can do to make him vulnerable. And another thing about him that is true of most I think every boss, is that he has an elemental weakness. Oh, hold on. Shit. God damn it.
You got this.
Hit the purple orbs are his best attack, and I was in a position where I couldn't really avoid them very well. So he's weak to ice, which means that Cerberus does like 20% more damage to him. Most bosses have at least one elemental weakness, some of them have two. And all 4 of your melee weapons, 4 of your 5 melee weapons, other than Rebellion, have a magic element. And another thing you can do, if he shoots the purple orbs at you, you can knock them back and do a lot of damage. Which is another reason Cerberus is good against them, because Cerberus has so many quick attacks that he's pretty good at reflecting things back.
That's kind of neat. You can use stuff against him. This batoon-looking motherfucker needs to go down, though. Get out of here, buddy.
Go back to Shadow of the Colossus.
Go back. Every other game's been from, like our time.
I guess I didn't realize how common of a boss design this is. We were talking about it. Like, we can just, off the top of our heads, we can just think of a bunch of bosses, like...
Yeah. It's, definitely feels kind of attack on boss. Oh, yeah, this is another thing that the, oh god, the PC port does. Sorry about anybody with epilepsy. Jesus Christ.
Oh no! Oh no! My brain!
Oh my god! Ah!
Oh my god!
There's a couple other places in the game where something like that will happen, but that's definitely the only time where it's like really bad.
And the stream is getting abandoned in Japan. By the way, fun fact, if there's any like special effect or any big thing that happens in an anime, they now have to dim this whole screen when any of that happens. Like if anything's flashing, like anything's gonna flash in a real bright way, yeah. They're like required to dim the screen.
It happens in games as well, modern games. Like Smash Brothers totally does it.
There's an anime like My Hero Academia, and it just kept dimming, and I'm like, what, is something wrong with my stream? Like the streaming app? And it's like, I looked it up, it's like, oh, I see. So people don't go crazy.
It's so goofballs too, because after that Pokemon thing, people were saying, oh yeah, I got a seizure, I had headaches. It's like, that's not what happens when you have a seizure.
Yeah.
Grab all those screaming heads.
Yeah. So many screaming heads. I guess they're supposed to be human souls?
Sure, why not?
So is everybody dead then? Really?
I mean, they're not. I don't know. This is like, this is a portal to the demon world. So like, these are all the souls potentially from everyone who went to hell. I guess.
The demon's souls, if you will.
Oh hey, now we get to meet the worst character.
Ooh.
That's... Millie says, that's my secret, Vergil. I'm always anime.
Oh, don't tell me Drebin shows up in this.
No, it's worse than Drebin, I think. I mean, he's...
What?
This character is supposed to be
lying.
bad, at least.
You're
but...
lying. There's nothing worse than Drebin.
There's no need to use violence, devil boy.
He is a jester, so at least he's supposed to be annoying. But still...
Ooh, is it Knights?
Yeah, it's Nights into Dreams. Special cameo.
It's Nights into Dreams.
You see?
Oh god.
Your tricks will
Oh
do
dear.
no good.
I told you.
Real good.
Zip it, or I'll pierce that big nose.
That could be a problem. Just hear me out. You've got nothing to lose, right?
Facial animation is hard, you
My
guys.
name is Jet.
His facial animation is
And
so
I know a thing
good.
or two about this place. That
I do like the
thing
squishing of the
there
nose there.
is a power generator for this entire sector. In order to open the door, you need
He has
to apply
heterochromia
a
too.
little
He's
something
sexy like
to
that
it
girl.
first. Do you know what that is, kid? Or is that too difficult for you?
Ah,
Kulu Limpa!
Actually, I prefer a sword to be my partner. May I have this dance, my lady?
Okay, yeah.
I told you. Like, he's so
You're
bad.
That is what the something is.
He does do a good maniacal
Remember
laugh
that,
though.
kid? Write it down on your hand.
He has
if
a-
you don't trust your head.
He has a pretty good laugh, I will admit. But... And he is supposed to be annoying. But he's really annoying. Anyway, so you know... So you know how that whole cutscene just told me how to use switches by hitting them with a sword?
Like you've been doing the entire game.
Yeah.
We'll never see a switch like that again. And
Oh, good.
we'll never have to hit anything with a sword to open a door, other than like the switches we've already used, which don't work like that.
Oh, that means we won't see Jester again, right?
Yeah, he's gone forever.
Oh, yay!
He's gone forever. Just check something real quick. I want to start. Oh yeah, this.
Bax.
Axe.
Bax.
Axe. Get
Oh, that's
18
right.
donuts at Bax.
I want to use Trickster for this, and then do I want to switch? Yeah, I'll switch later.
Well, how is he gonna play Zorlo?
So, one thing to note is that I am playing the special edition. Oops, hold on. I fucked up. I don't want this style. Restart mission. I'm playing the special edition, which changes around some mechanics. It changes around the difficulty level. It does a bunch of little things. But two big things that it does is it makes Vergil a playable character that you can unlock. And I'll show him off at some point. And then it also adds in... The one thing they realized was, like, you never fight Jester. Oops. So they decided to make Jester a boss. And you fight him 3 times, and this time you fight him in this level really early, and it's required, but the next 2 times are optional. I'll be fighting them all, because whatever. They're pretty weird fights, since they were made later. Like...
They were like, oh wait, people probably want to kill this guy. We should probably let them.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we should
Welcome to hell. Please accept my gift.
probably let them kill the most annoying character in the game, huh?
After all, we're buddies, aren't we?
Playing Resident Evil music now.
Well, isn't that special?
Whoever did the voice for Jersey really wanted to, Jester rather, really wanted to take over Mark Hamill's job as a Joker, and
I
they,
mean, he thought they said Joker when he applied for the job.
yeah.
I mean, kind of looks Joker-esque. I wouldn't be too surprised if that was.
I won't spoil it yet, but I'm pretty sure that it was it's an intentional thing. I won't go into details yet, but you'll see later.
We'll
So-
see later.
These dudes are blood goyles, and their special thing is if you hit them with a melee weapon, they will split into 2 enemies. And sometimes they'll split into 2 enemies on their own, so you have to hit them with gunfire first to put them into stone. I think if you hit them with Cerberus, they'll actually freeze sometimes, but I don't know if that's true.
Just like real blood.
Or maybe it's Agni Ninja. Oh my god, they're multiplying crazy. The good news is, when they split, they keep the health they had, so you're still making progress. You can't get stuck in the fight forever.
That's good, because that would suck.
Although on the hardest difficulty level, where enemies can devil trigger. If there's enough of them and they devil trigger, like, you might as well just do it. Like, it's gonna take forever. So yeah, they're like, shit, how do we make the Jester fight happen? I know, let's just put a portal on the ground.
It's this wonderful 101 type shit. Happens a lot.
So this fight is really weird, and mostly about dodging projectiles? It's pretty... The first version is pretty straightforward. When he's got the shield, you don't do much damage, naturally.
That animation's really good, though.
He does a pretty good animation. When he's dancing around, you can slash at him with your sword and he'll teleport. But if you shoot him enough with your guns, he'll get tired. And he's got a bunch of different attacks he can do. Some of them you can hit him while he's doing pretty safely, like this one. Some of them are like, you can't hit him right away.
I do like the confetti particles that fly out of him.
Yeah, he has that instead of blood, which is great. Oh, I forgot the coolest move. Sorry, go.
I was just gonna say, most times I don't hate him as much as I thought I would, except when he's like trying to be like forcefully wacky. Like when we were shooting him and he's dancing, he's doing like the yacha-cha dance. I was like, oh, okay, just shut up. Like that's...
Please stop.
That's like, yeah.
Oh, one fun thing about this fight is that it's very, very hard to perceive these things since they're see-through and 2D. Since they're both see-through and they're 2D, like, it is really hard to see where they are depth-wise. I always get hit at this part.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's super difficult, like... Especially in the later fights where there's even more of those things flying around faster. There we go.
Pretty good. Shimp.
And also, all of the voice clips they're using here, since they didn't re-record, they're just clips from other parts of the game. For the whole fight. And that's a good point to note two things about Devil Trigger. One is that the design for Dante and Vergil's Devil Trigger is designed by a Persona guy. The guy who does all the designs for Persona, I guess?
That would make sense.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. They sort of
coming.
brought him in here, and then Dante showed up in the Devil Summoner games, whatever they're called. But yeah, I'll show you. Like, this looks pretty Persona. And the other thing is that each weapon has its own slightly different design and has a special feature. Cerberus' special feature is that you move quickly. Rebellion's is that you can glide, and it's literally useless because you can't attack while you're gliding. But Cerberus' is that you run fast and you attack fast. I think the idea with Cerberus is they wanted you to attack even faster, to have like even faster combos. But they just up your speed overall, so you also run faster.
Oh yeah, that's totally that. I mean, the fast one there, that looks almost just like the newest demon you get for Persona 5, like Arsene. So yeah.
You can
So Shogun wants to know what's happening in Devil May Cry. Oh, let's explain what happens in Devil May Cry. Dante is the son of Sparta. He's a demon, and his mom is a human, and they did a fuck, and so they had two kids named Dante and Vergil, because they're super clever. And they're half demon, and so they got demon powers. And Vergil is a big ol' ass butt, and Dante is kind of an asshole, but he's like a likable asshole.
Sorry, while you were talking, I was
killed
fooling
everyone
around
in
and
New
I jumped
York
to
to make a tower, and there's a tower of demons, and Dante is like, that's cool, I guess I'll just fight my way through this tower of demons, because he's not particularly, like, angry or anything about what's going on, he just wants to fight the demons.
Shoot, do I have to go the long way around? I might have just jumped off. Yeah, I do.
I
was, while you were talking, and I was just sort of fooling around without thinking. Sorry, I have to go the long way around. And literally, I was
She
2
was
steps
distracted
from...
by her saying they did a fuck.
I was 2 steps away from, putting in something that lets me access the whole of the main hub. So, like... I just wasted so much time. Sorry. I'll just unpack everything though.
That's fine.
See, I was fooling around and I did the wall run, and I'd used all my midair jumps and dashes. So and the wall run shoves you back a bit.
I'm taking the scenic route.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know what happens if you take this elevator up and you stay behind. Wait, was there a special mission I was supposed to do?
Soft locks the game.
Hold on.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, it's later. But you gotta go past these slabs squatting.
Passes the time by shooting. Yes, I mean, that's pretty much happens in Devil May Cry.
I do like that you have action movie guns. They just have infinite bullets.
I think in either the first or the third game it said that Dante is summoning bullets with his... He's actually shooting like devil energy, or he's summoning bullets with devil energy.
Of course he is.
Let's
That's
see.
what I would do if I had demon power.
Right. Let's see, guns...
Save so much money on ammo that way.
Oh, it doesn't say here. Oh yeah, these are all like the... It's worth noting that the one thing that this port is better at is load times. Load times are pretty bad on the console. For every single one of these screens in the menu, like, you would have to wait several seconds, sometimes longer. It's really brutal to, like... Especially when you don't know the moves and you're literally like, okay, what's this move? Okay, I'll try it in game. Like, that takes like 20 full seconds to pause, navigate to that move, unpause, do the move.
It's always good for your speed game. To make it so pausing is the horrible penalty.
One thing we're missing though is that the loading screens between levels, it says Devil May Cry 3 in the corner, and you can actually do combos on it. Like, you can hit the shot button to shoot, and you can hit the sword button to sword it up, and you can like juggle it up by doing high time. And then eventually, if you do enough damage quickly enough, it breaks, and they have to, and it spawns a new one, a new like now loading.
Now see, now Shell Game understands what happens in Devil May Cry. See, I'm good at describing video games.
So the astronomical board unlocked this whole area and removed the walls, but it also lets us grab this, which we technically could have dodged into before, but there's an invisible wall in the way. Just... I've also realized that I ignored probably the coolest move in Trickster, which is if you hit forward in the style button, you do this teleport, and what that does is it teleports you directly above whoever you're locked onto. Which is really cool, but not as useful as you'd think, because you're like kind of in an awkward space and it doesn't take you that far. You're usually better off doing like a diving attack at them, like stinging, but...
Dive and dodge.
But I'll do it on this dude here.
Dodge a demon, then you can dodge a dodge.
What about demon dodgeballs?
I wonder if that movie's actually any good.
What, dodgeball? If dodgeball holds up? Oh, that's the chat. Chat, does dodgeball hold up? Zoolander holds up, I feel.
The best thing about Dodgeball is the alternate ending, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
It's so good. For Chad's benefit, there's a part, like in most sports movies and whatever, there's a part where like it looks like all hope is lost and our heroes have lost. But then it's like, oh no, the other guys broke a rule, so that final dodgeball doesn't count, and they get one more chance. But like there's this long sequence in the movie where like our heroes are looking defeated and it's slow-mo and there's sad music playing and the villains are all victorious and cheering. And the alternate ending, like it's a really long cut on the DVD. Where, like, they have the whole setup to that scene and it's all the same and you're like, okay, what part is different? What part is different? This all is what's in the movie. And they get to the part where it looks like the villains win and then it just fades to black. And it's the end. It's so good.
And then it explains, like, what? Like, that shit doesn't happen in real life. What do you expect that
It's also worth noting, like, this is another part where this is a legitimate environmental puzzle. Like, if you paid attention, you'd see that there was a place to put something with 3 holes. Like, 3 prongs. And there's some other description about it that would lead you to use it there, but, like, if you didn't pay attention, you wouldn't know. And there's you have several places you can go. And it rewards you for paying attention to the environment in a way that, like, probably isn't great for an action game, but would be really good in a Resident Evil game.
Yeah. Also, is it a common thread of things not working in Dante, like getting fed up and kicking them? Great. Yay.
That might be the last time in this game, actually. I'm not sure.
Oh, too bad.
This room is a common thread of an enemy attacks you in cutscene, and then the attack hits you once you're out of cutscene. I love that. It's real good.
That's good. That's fun. That's good game design.
At least this game doesn't have anything that's so difficult that is just like such a tight attack that even when you know it's coming, you're likely to get hit by it. Like the first game did. There were several where it's like, okay, I need to jump at just the right time when this cutscene ends, or I will get hit.
Man, Hyrule Warriors did that shit all the time, and the harder difficulties was complete bullshit.
Alright, I'm fixed. I can just teleport. A thing worth noting about these dudes is that if you are close enough, they will literally just dash away from you forever, and it's the worst thing in the world. It's not too bad in this room, because there's a lot of corners to get them stuck on.
If you get them stuck, can you start wailing on them?
Kind of. I mean, like, if you're touching them, they'll usually stop moving, especially if you hit them. But, like, as long as they're dashing, they'll keep dashing. Unless they're one of the ones programmed to stand still. This dude up here.
So I remember getting things stuck on walls. That's how you beat Nemesis with just a knife if you feel like it. Resident Evil 3, you just go around like a little enclave, like just every single Nemesis fight, there's at least one thing his dumbass will get stuck on, and you just poke him to death with a knife. It's really good.
This is another sort of environmental thing. You can go up the elevator and fight all those dudes again. Or you can remember that you've just unlocked the ability to go where you want, and just go back out through this door, and take the jump pad up to where you need to go. I think, right? Like, I've got the Soul of Steel? Yeah.
Soul of Steel.
Soul of Steel.
Is that from something?
It's like Blades of Steel.
No, your Blades of Steel. I was doing Symphony of the Night.
Oh yeah, Soul Steel.
Nope, wrong door.
Black
Torque
Yeah.
Are you okay? You're talking like someone shoved a sock into your mouth.
So now that I have the Soul of Steel, and I've proven my metal or something, I can walk on this staircase. And the thing is, like, with a lot of moves, I could have gotten over here anyway, but you also need the Soul of Steel to open this door, so, like...
Why not?
It's basically just a key anyway, but hey. Oh, and there'd be a combat educator, like, right here. I guess. That would be your second one. That would be for Cerberus. Trickster? Oh, yes, I do have Trickster equipped, and this is why. Secret mission number 2, which is, like... I feel like it might be the hardest secret mission. Oh, no, wrong one. Shoot. This isn't the one I thought it was. This one's not the hardest. This one is don't get hit once. Which is kind of difficult.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, these assholes. I like it just boom, fail.
Yeah, boom, fail. I was not prepared. I'll give it one more try. I don't really have... There's certain equipment that would make this a lot easier, but... Wait, what? That went over my head. Whatever.
But you don't have it yet, right?
I don't have it yet, unfortunately. It's definitely not in my inventory.
I like just the 80s or 90s, like, hard copy looking, like, failed screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really...
fit the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think you failed. You just failed a current affair, I think.
You can watch it at home. Ask your parents what a current affair is.
Or watch Dumb and Dumber.
Or watch Dumb and Dumber. That's basically what it was.
Well, no, that's what current affair showed up on Dumb and Dumber. Remember the report about the kid's parrot?
Oh, the parrot. That's right. Okay, I was thinking.
Yeah, that was on.
I was thinking of Cable Guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, the show that Mary Swanson is watching is a current affair. She's like, who are these sick people? And then that's when like Lloyd Christmas shows up.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm sure that movie doesn't hold up.
I don't know. I feel like it's this a good kind of dumb that I think would be it would transcend time. I say that having not watched it in forever, so.
I mean, since it's a video game stream, ultimately we do have to get to the point where I start ranting about a horrible movie I've seen a couple weeks ago that I can't get out of my head.
My favorite part.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, on that elevator, if too many dudes get on it, it would start to shake and then fall down, so you have to kill them quickly. If that probably wasn't on
the fatty paradigm.
So Otacon show up, it's like, there's too much weight on the elevator.
It's also worth noting that there's sort of a special ability that I've been doing a lot of that you haven't seen, which is there's sort of a period right after you jump where you can attack very quickly and just sort of instantly do an air move, and I use it a lot. It's really useful for Trickster because you can do the air dash right away, and the air dash is amazing. In fact, pretty much all of Trickster is that the air dash is really good. Everything else about it isn't very good.
What's that gold thing by the door that like keeps is like holding up an hourglass?
Oh, that's the sorry, I guess I didn't explain that. It was in the first game, but that is the what is it fucking called? The statue of the god of time and space? Yes. It's a statue. It's a statue of the god of time and space, which was also in the first game, if you remember, because you were there and you were listening to the things I was saying, right?
Of course.
But it's just a place, if you go up to it and use it, like, you get the mid-menu screen where you can change your style and equipment and buy items.
Oh, okay.
And upgrade
in my defense, Frank, a lot of shit happened during those streams.
It's true. But I'm sure you're keeping up with this one now, because a lot less shit is happening in this game.
This game is so uncomplicated.
You swing sword and demon go, wow.
From side to side, come on, it's time to go. Oh my god, demons.
These demons are great. They're the best.
Demons, oh my god!
Holy
shit!
Holy shit!
Very nice, Dante-chan.
You guys haven't seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure start right now, just turn the stream off.
And if you don't want to see JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, just watch the 2-minute video of Joseph Joestar saying English. It's the best. It's the best 2 minutes of your life.
No, we need to come up with something.
Oh.
Our guest is Sigh. What is Sigh?
The tiny heads!
Sigh is when...
Look at the tiny head!
Well, you'll see why they have tiny heads once they come into the light.
In case you didn't get the hint, I'll spell it out. Your guest wants to go through. Got it?
Our job here is to guard this pool. That's right. We cannot let you pass.
It's because the head is on the sword. These are probably my favorite bosses, honestly. There's a way to fight them with every style.
Oh, I see. So what guardian demons are these from Dante's Inferno supposed to be?
This is the part where Dante fights the sword demons.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part.
These are Agni and Rudra, who they aren't based on anything. They are not from Dante's Inferno.
They're kinda based on the concept of the red and blue Oni that guards the gates of hell.
Yeah, that is.
So, are you telling me that Kamiya, in a thing that's inspired by Western stuff, just put in a
Kamiya wasn't in this game. Kamiya had nothing to do with this game. No.
Oh.
Kamiya made #1, and they made #2 without him. And he didn't even know that was happening. He heard about it through a press release. And he was really pissed and sore about it, especially because 2 sucked.
Oh, well.
He's gonna carry me over by running at me. Wait, what? What the fuck was that attack? I've never seen that attack in my life! What the hell?
That's never happened before.
What? They both just like did it. I wish my camera had been on them better, because I don't know what that was.
Oh, whoa.
I think...
They just flew away.
I've fought these guys like 100 times and have never seen that.
Oh man, that swordsman flew away.
I'm so confused. Sorry. Okay. So the mechanics of these dudes is that it's a dual boss fight. Obviously, They can power up their weapon. Oops. Ooh, good, I dodged it.
Skill game is doing bad puns in the chat, by the way.
Oh, nice! He knocked his sword out. So, you can ricochet their sword, and they can also ricochet their swords, and if their swords hit each other, they'll sometimes drop them.
If you keep ricocheting your swords together.
Ricocheting your swords. Also, the fire guy is weak to Cerberus, but the wind guy is not weak to anything. So, you can do a bit more damage to the fire guy. And then, if you kill him, this happens. Oh, also, when they have their sword powered up, if you hit them enough, they lose the power-up, so you're kind of always wanting to juggle between them. But not when this happens. The real way you want to fight them is to try and keep them even, but I deliberately didn't, so I could show you this. And I'll get a chance to show you the other way later. Because there is a boss rush, naturally.
What?
I know,
what?
right?
Spoilers? What? How dare?
Oh, they kissed.
Yeah, they grab mouths if you look really close. Which is kind of weird, but I guess they're swords, so maybe
Demons will want to do.
I'm not sure if you can ricochet this dude's attacks. You can. Oops, but it's harder. I don't really fight him conjoined like this very often, actually. All I really know is that he has this big attack that he does. I'm probably not dodging it, right?
Now it's gone from like butt rock to industrial, kind of?
Every boss has their own theme. Mostly.
Oh, okay.
It's
so,
good.
If
I like the one that games do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, wait. We have been waiting for a long time. Yes, a very
So these dudes are already weapons, so I don't need to turn them into a weapon.
someone who can control us.
It's convenient.
My name is Agni, and my name is Rudra. You shall take us with you. We could be a great help to you.
Okay,
You
but
little
on
muppet
one
mouse.
condition.
What is it? Name it.
No talking.
Fair enough. As you wish.
That's a baseball.
Impressive.
Someone in chat.
Talking.
It's like, on one condition, we don't want to record new voice lines for you guys, so...
Except they actually totally do. They talk a lot. Which I'll show in a second, because I'll equip them for the next level, obviously. Yeah, for the next mission, I hope Swordmaster and Air Rebellion.
You know, I really do like this version of Dante because he said the exact same thing I was thinking. It's like, oh, I hope they don't. If I was gonna take them, I'd make them shut up.
Yeah.
He's a relatable character, that Dante.
He's
The
so
saps.
relatable. I mean, so me, right? Me IRL.
Me IRL, Dante from Devil May Cry.
Oh, this
Me,
fight scene is
Dante.
great. I wish Ishvan was here for this fight scene. There's this fight scene and another one that I wish he was here for.
Hello, I'm here. I'm boring.
Please tell me,
it's me. I'm super boring.
tell me if he's using these guns correctly. As far as I know, like, all the guns in this game are... I mean, they're fantasy versions of a lot of guns, but, like, they're, like, realistically modeled, I think? Because, like, Japan has a thing with being really obsessive about guns, even in, like, ridiculous action things.
Well, it'll be even better if we just come up with facts about the guns, so this one can watch the VOD later and be very upset.
Like, if you look at Dante's pistols, they're each customized in different ways. Like, they have a different type of sight, and they're both... They've got, like, a ton of very specific customizations that have been shown. Like, one of them has the ejector point on the other side, specifically since he fires them two-handed.
Oh.
They're also engraved this is a good place to put this. They're engraved with the phrase .45 artworks, which was supposed to be Artworks, which is supposed to be like the company that made the guns for him. But it's Artworks, and they kept it. And it also says for Tony Redgrave engraved on it, because that was his original name. When it was still a Resident Evil 4 game, he was Tony Redgrave.
Oh. 6.
Like, he can't be Chris Redfield, he's Tony Redgrave. There's the 6.
There's the 6.
Maybe that's the whole reason why they changed the game, was like, oh, we already have a character with red in their name, we're just gonna change the entire story to demons.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. So, Master, that's good. So now we're in the Mute Goddess's chamber. And that's the Mute Goddess up there. And it's fixed on the door with rubble. So, I guess, like, someone put the rubble there intentionally? I don't know. But here, let me get in the other room and I can show off my new moveset a little better. Here we go. So, Agni and Rudra are really cool. They've got a lot of different combos. They're probably my second favorite weapon. They're very powerful if you're bad, but like, they also have a lot of cool moves if you're good. They've got their basic combo. They've got a couple different pause combos, like this one. Their crazy combo is pretty great. They both laugh during the crazy combo until Dante tells them to be silent.
That's funny.
They've got a pretty good uppercut move, although it takes a while. And their mid-air move is amazing, because it's just very powerful and you can spam it really well if you jump cancel off it. Oh, and their forward attack is cool and weird. It's a slow run, where you swing a bunch. And if you actually hit somebody with the first one, you'll lock onto them and do the rest. But if you miss, then you'll probably get punished for it a lot, so... oh yeah, and their Swordmaster moves are sort of a standing version of their aerial attack. An aerial combo. It's a little better. They have a sort of a projectile, which is really bad and I'll probably not use, because I'll forget about it. And then they've got an interesting move, which is... they tilt. If you sort of start an Inferno around you. And it's a crazy combo, but it's a hard one. You can't really do it normally. You have to buffer it off another move. Like, if I just do it normally, no matter how hard I mash, I can't do it my first time. But if I do this, and then mash during it, during the first attack, I can do the second attack, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, while you're doing the second attack, if you switch back to mashing the normal attack button, you'll extend it a bit. Oh, I probably should have looked at the sign. There's 3 trials. This is the Trial of the Warrior. And this is a brief taste of what the game is like during Dante Must Die mode, because in this room, all the enemies are Devil Triggered, unless you hit both of the switches. And Devil Trigger means they don't stun very much, you can't juggle them very well, and they have a shit ton of health. So basically enemies are just super powered. And it's very hard to get them into a stunned state, so they're usually always dangerous. It's not really worth trying to keep both switches hit, is the thing, because they go away so fast. Oh, nice. Anti-air. He predicted. He knew. Once you do get them stunned, though, it's really nice if you can keep them on the ground for a while, so you can just keep doing stuff like this to them.
Mom.
Ah, Mom!
Oh shit, he hit me. See, that's... You're gonna see in a second. I'm gonna get hit mid-combo even though I'm doing something that's hitting the demon. Which is brutal, because most of the enemies in this game are really easy to stagger, and once you get good, it kind of is what makes the game not that difficult. So making them not able to be staggered is really brutal, actually. So I'm gonna get both. I'm gonna get both. Nice.
Get him.
Yeah, there's just gonna be a lot of wailing away in this room. Sorry.
That's fine.
I don't know.
How else are those devils going to cry or not cry? They may cry.
Maybe.
Stop getting in the way of my pistol shots. I'm trying to blow the dude up.
Frank's trying to blow a dude.
I'm trying to blow a dude. And then it gets close. Oh my god, okay. He gets close enough that he blew all over me instead.
He does that sometimes. It's blowjob chicken. Frank's favorite game.
Those bomb dice do a lot of damage to enemies, obviously. If that wasn't clear enough already.
I do like the horribly stunned zombie moaning that they're doing.
Oh, a fun thing to note is that enemies actually have specific behavior if they're scared of you. If you're, I think it's based on your style ranking, but basically if you beat up enough of their bodies badly enough, they will, almost every demon will have a special, like, action, usually some sort of backing away that they'll do.
Huh.
Where they'll be like, oh shit, fuck. And you can usually get some pretty free hits on them. It kind of ends up being the martial arts thing, where you're beating up one dude and the other dude's just waiting in the wings. You can make that happen if you're playing stylishly, which I think is cool.
I feel like in this instance, the reason that's happening is the other enemies are like, holy shit, I gotta watch this first before I go fight this guy.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
I know that that's like my friend over there, but like this is pretty rad.
Oh man, I'm sure in like a future Devil May Cry or a similar type game, when you're beating up the demons, the other demons are watching will like pull out smartphones and start taking pictures of it or something in the background.
If the remake had come out a little bit later, that might have actually happened.
Yeah.
Realistically.
That'd be really good.
Well, I'm getting all three of them. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, one of them fell out. Oh, and now to back away from this dude, because he's got a lot of health. There we go. So, now we have the essence of fighting.
The essence of...
The essence of fighting. I wonder if that was a good description. Descriptions are not interesting because I think they were, like, fobbed off to some newbie. It doesn't even have a description? Oh no, wrong button. The fighting... the fighting spirit of the ancients ones. Nice.
Good.
Solid. That's definitely correct.
Yep.
That's how a human being is speaking English would say. Your warrior's heart will be put to the test in the chamber ahead. This is what I should have read before I went in there. Light all of the crest to suppress the evil spirit's rage. So it tells you what it does. And here, passing one trial still shows lacking. Passing 2 trials expands horizons. Passing all trials expands one's true potential. So I'm gonna go put the first one in place, because what the hell? The essence
Yeah, I remember
of fighting.
when...
Sorry, go.
I was just gonna say, I remember when Capcom sued SNK for Essence of Fighting.
And then they created Sam Schmabiki
Yes.
in retaliation.
I'll keep this. Your techniques will be put to test in the chamber ahead. Overcome the onslaught of obstacles to guarantee your future. So this is the test of skill, which it didn't actually say, I guess, but it is. Oh, trial of skill. It says in the corner when I enter. So, this one is just sort of a mobility and dodging thing. It's pretty straightforward. When you get an opening, you can do like a stinger to get ahead. You can also abuse your jumps and invincibility frames, which you'll probably see in just a second. I just did it. One nice thing that they...
Prince of Persia bullshit.
Yep, it's some Prince of Persia bullshit. One nice thing that they do is they actually have a gap in the cycles periodically where no spears come out, so you can actually exit. Like, because you don't know where the spears are going to come from, what direction, when you're right at the end. So they have a one cycle where it doesn't come out. And then, of course, because like it wasn't really interesting enough, they have some enemies show up when you
The Ancients ones.
The Ancients
kept that on everyone.
Copy paste. No problem here.
Oh, and these are Soul Eaters, and they're the worst. They're named after the anime. I don't know anything about the anime. That's not true at all. So.
Me either. Actually, I actually don't know anything about that one.
Yeah, sure you don't. Okay, so now I've got one isolated. I will describe its function. It's usually a purple cloud. If you hack away at the purple cloud for long enough, it will become corporeal, but it takes forever. The better way to do it is to either wait for them to attack you, or they're actually boos, and if you turn your back, they will appear. So what you have to do is turn your back, and then get really close to them so that you'll hit them if you lock on, and then like lock on and immediately fire something.
Oh, there.
So like the best way to fight them is to continuously turn around, lock on, like turn around, immediately attack, turn around, immediately attack. Like it's really silly looking.
I don't see you. Boom! I don't see you.
Those guys get so annoying in the next difficulty, where they'll do 2 and 3 attacks in a row, and ugh, it's just the worst. But on their own, they're super easy. So yeah, let's go back here. What the heck? I'll put it away. So if I put in the essence of technique, then the statue of the goddess clears the door. So like, I guess that's intentional? Does someone come back and put the rubble in later? I don't know.
It's like a rubble demon that shows up.
But they did mention that putting all 3 in unlocks my true potential. So it's time to do the test of wisdom. Oh, so it's actually important to read the sign for this one, because it says use your lifetime experience, from the crawling infant to the man standing tall, and finally to the old man leaning on his cane. So if any of you are clever, you'll know that that's a reference to the riddle of the Sphinx. The classic, what stands on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the middle of the day, and 3 legs in the evening? Anyone? It's man. The real monster is man. So there's these doors, and basically you have to go through them in the right order. So 4, and then where's 2? There's 2, and then 3 over here.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, this is a test of your wisdom and does the riddle of the Sphinx, and then you just go in there, it's like a giant Sphinx monster. You beat the shit out of.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
that would be
super wise.
You'd expect it, but you actually get through this with no fighting if you do it right. If you fuck up, you fight monsters, and then you get ejected out.
Just
and
like in real life.
Yeah, it's just like in real life. And you actually don't like get the thing for fighting. Like you legitimately have to figure it out, which I think is nice. So if you use all 3, then the statue of the goddess comes down, and I don't get the cutscene where I get it. Well, there's not a cutscene, it just sort of says I get it. But I get Artemis, the gun that I hate. But, I'll show off Artemis in a bit. But, like, basically, it's a gun that sucks unless you're using Gunslinger. And in a lot of ways, it's really only... It's the reason most people choose Gunslinger is to use Artemis well. Because it sucks without Gunslinger, and with Gunslinger, it's amazing. So, yeah, I don't know. It's I don't really like Gunslinger. I don't really like because I don't really like using Artemis. So.
Fair enough.
And I'll describe it why when I get it, but when I use it, which is either next level or the one after. I'm not sure which one I decided was best. I'm gonna go to the bathroom again while this is happening. Please don't talk shit about me and enjoy this lady and interaction.
Well, well.
Ooh.
You've grown stronger.
Go to hell.
I'm a my big red papyrus boots. I'm
Your
gonna
own
get the
king.
guns and shoot demons.
Your dear
I'm
papa.
super scary.
The only family I ever had was my mother. And she's dead.
Oh, scare guy.
You break my heart. After all, it was
He's got a
I
weird
who gave
face.
your name.
You're dear Papa.
Daughter.
Papa, I wish to shoot gun.
Well, if I shot right, I would have. He's a bat. Oh, here's a book.
Oh, he's an upside down guy. Dad, stop throwing books at me and kicking me off cliffs. Damn, that's weird.
Hey, it's me, John Toast, Portaxx. What do you hate about Frank the most?
I hate that he doesn't have video game.
So yeah, I think I just missed Lady talking to Arkham, and I don't remember what they said, but it's probably really important. Well... Oops. There we go. Oh yeah, right. She gets tossed off the edge.
Well, this is my kind of rip.
I'm your dad. No, you're not. My mom was my dad. Wait. And he's like, oh, let's shoot each other. Here's a book. Ah.
Yeah, he threw a book at her face.
Oh right, his book. He uses his book. I forgot. Hey guys, is it standard for bazookas to have bayonets on them? Like probably.
And you show your thanks by
I want to say yes.
If you run out of bazooka rockets, then you can stab a guy. God, everyone keeps trying to kill Dante.
Whatever.
Dante taking a
Do as you please.
page out of the Penn and Teller book there for a minute.
So he's a demon too.
I fucking love.
I'm beginning to think I've got rotten.
Lady goes, so he's a demon too. So what? You thought he was a human? You shot him.
Yeah, so a human guy caught me while I was gonna plunge to my death, and obviously I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
So that human guy was the writing on my missile. Like, remember the part where you shot a missile and he wrote on it? Did you forget?
Dante wins every event at the not giving a shit Olympics.
This mission, I'm going to use Royal Guard. I'll use Artemis in the next level because it's better there. What weapons do I want to use for this? I think, yeah. I really like Cerberus for Royal Guard because you can cancel Cerberus really, really well, pretty much at any point. So it's really handy. You can, if you know you're gonna Royal Guard or you're gonna block soon, you can just keep hitting with Cerberus until whatever. That's actually a good time to talk about how canceling works, because I think that's the last big mechanic that I haven't really talked about. I already talked about jump canceling, but canceling between moves works a lot like a fighting game in that there's rules between what you can cancel. Basic attacks between weapons can almost always be canceled to each other. Certain moves have really shitty cancels though, like usually the last hit of combos takes a lot longer to cancel from. Except for Cerberus, again, that's its specialty. So you can keep switching and sort of do stuff like this. Moves from normal attacks will pretty much always cancel into style attacks immediately, which is why Royal Guard is so good, because you can it's such a short, you block for such a short time that you can cancel anything and anything really quick. And certain special moves will cancel into other special moves in specific ways. That's pretty much it. So you'll see me switching around a lot to, like, combo into things better, basically.
Makes sense.
What is this special one? Oh, yes. So Secret Mission 3, I have to stay in the air for 20 seconds. And the noob way is to get in the corner and have everybody come here and jump on their heads. And just sort of do a double jump and pistol. Oh shoot, I can't do the better way because I'm using Royal Guard. So I'm kind of stuck doing it this way.
Oops.
But it's not that hard to do it this way. Oh shoot, I say as immediately I fall.
I'm fine. Punch.
Using your pistols to keep up some of your time is nice. Oh, I killed them all too much.
I killed
too
them
many
all
of them.
too much. Vergil is 2017.
Oh, they spawn again. That's good. If I was really good, I could probably just keep jumping on their heads forever, but I'm not. Like, while they're in a group. I'll give this a little bit more try, and then we'll stop. The easy way to do this is use, like, Agni and Rudra and the Swordmaster. There's a lot of moves that suspend you in midair. If you do it right, you can just suspend yourself in midair indefinitely with a couple of the weapons. Oh, they all stopped jumping. Yeah, stop. I won't suggest this anymore. There we go. But, yeah, the right way to do it is to use Swordmaster and, like... And actually, there is one weapon that lets you use Air Raid, like in the first game, and so you can just have Devil Trigger and, like, fly up there for almost the whole time. Which is definitely the easy way to do it. With Royal Guard, I feel like you probably have to get lucky, because I just can't make myself stay up there any longer. So this is the Heaven Rise Chamber, and which is an amazing name. But we're also going to encounter a new enemy type in this room. I like that the battle music plays before anything happens. But it's these dudes! Chess pieces!
Good.
So yeah, there's a full set of chess pieces, basically. They're very slow, it's impossible to stagger them. And they're sort of the tanks of the game. They're kind of the least interesting things to fight. A lot of people really hate them, but I don't think they're that bad. They're just sort of, like, you can't really combo them or anything, you just kind of have to, they just sort of do their own thing and ignore you.
They probably did these because they were like, it's gonna be easy to animate, they just hop, 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 hop.
Searching for Bobby Fischer of vengeance.
So yeah, the pawns will either attack you directly, or they'll circle around behind you to represent their diagonal ability. The knights will swing their head, or they'll jump up to represent their jumping over pieces to attack their ability. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's cute.
There's a few others we'll meet later. But they've all got something that sort of represents their chess abilities. Also, this library is sick as hell. Like, I don't know what books are here, considering it's like a demon tower, but I really like this room. There's a lot of weird little details in it, too. Like all the textures. And like this weird-ass fucking face. I don't even know what that is, but I like it. Anyways, what did I pick up? I picked up the Ori Halcon fragment, which is not how you spell that. There's supposed to be a C in the middle of that, and it's supposed to be a sort of historical metal. But I guess this one was used as an energy source, so they're just making up whatever they feel like, including the spelling.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be Orichalcum,
Mm-hmm.
which is the ancient word for bronze, basically.
No, it's a different metal. I mean, we think. I guess we don't really know for sure what it was. We found some coins that we think is orichalcum, but we don't know for sure. We found some from a shipwreck.
Guys, I would like to point out that Pepsi Man is in our chat.
Pepsi Man!
Oh, you mean Pepsi Man?
Pepsi Man!
Pepsi Man!
The name of this room is called Pitch Black Void, which I think is so fucking emo that it hurts. I love it, though.
Oh, is that the name of another room so emo it hurts? Because that would be great.
I mean, wait, did I just pull that red orb out of position without grabbing it?
Nice.
No, I didn't. It's just there. It's like, I didn't think that was possible. It's not possible.
Demon for TV game.
Demon for TV.
Dante for pizza.
It's really
And
easy.
after you're done with this, you should take a break and make your next stream Pepsi Man.
I mean, that is a character action game. He's a real character and he's got a lot of action. I keep forgetting I have Royal Guard equipped and I should be blocking instead of blocking. Oh, I should say a few things about Royal Guard. Well, I'll do it after this room is clear. But there's a few tricks you can use that make it a lot better. Oh, way to make me whip, Chris. If you don't do your block perfectly, you won't get a full bar, or sphere, I should say, in the meter. And also, you will take some chip damage. Oh, okay, let me talk about Royal Guard for just a second. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Agni and Rudra's demon form thing is that the thing that you get from Devil Trigger, other than just extra damage and stun resistance, is that their elemental attacks become more powerful, meaning anything weak to fire is even more weak to fire. There's nothing that's weak to the wind attack, so like the wind sword is just not they didn't do that. So the thing about Royal Guard is since you can cancel a lot of things, you can cancel things that make you invincible. Like if you roll and then block, or jump and then block. Jump blocks and jump releases have a bit more leniency on what counts for timing, but also because you're jumping, you're invincible until you block. So if you jump into an attack, like you'll be invincible and then you'll immediately parry once the parry activates. So same with rolling, like you can roll and then block, and it makes it a lot easier. Which is like literally Street Fighter 3. So there's a lot of Street Fighter references in this game. Actually, there's a weapon that has an entire moveset that's just Street Fighter moves, basically. So, as far as I can tell, what this cutscene is showing is that Dante is distracted by the boobs of the statue. He's so distracted that demons sneak up on him. Because, like, there's nothing important about this.
It happens to the best of us.
Just like, oh, yeah. Anyways, this is Greed. I think it's... No, we have one more of the 7 hells to meet, but it's the 6th, 7th hell. You also can't stun them, like the chess pieces. They won't get stunned. They're pretty slow attacks, but they summon these. Is their thing. They will summon people. And they have a lot of health, so you basically want to beat them up while beating up everyone else. Ooh, I didn't hit you with that. I'm really bad about remembering what weapon I have equipped sometimes. Have you ever seen me sort of do the big... It's called Revolver, the Cerberus spin-around move, and there's no one near me? It's because I thought I had a different weapon equipped, and I screwed up. Oh, let me remember. right there. Also, the Cerberus Crazy combo will knock people away, but if you do it in a corner, you'll hit them all 3 times and it does a ridiculous amount of damage, so it's really good to try and do it then.
Oh, I see.
Oops, I accidentally skipped that cutscene of something falling onto this altar, so I'll have to restart the whole level.
Oops, I pressed it.
Oops, I pressed it. It's really easy to skip cutscenes in this game. I probably will skip one at some point, because I'm so used to just mashing start through all of them. So, we get the Siren Shriek, so we have to use it on Flames somewhere. But where? If you wanted, you could go all the way back and retrace your steps, I think. But you can also go this way. Ori Halcon. That's what the Ori Halcon is for.
Ori Halcon.
Ori Halcon. That's another one of these statues.
Hey there, I'm Ari Halcom. Nice to meet you.
This is actually the only thing in the game you can't skip, I think, is this elevator ride. It's really important.
Exciting.
It's very
Maybe
exciting.
it was for like loading or something, I don't know.
So like, this is again, like you got a thing that quells flames, but if you didn't remember that this thing was here from the beginning of the game, but like if you do remember, I don't know. It's like, it doesn't really work in an action game, because you can legitimately get lost here and not be sure where to go next.
They wanted to be a throwback to Devil May Cry 1.
Pretty much. Like, that's the only reason it's here. And it'd be really good in Devil May Cry 1 is the thing. It does it better than it does in Devil May Cry 1. It's so weird. Oh, I tried to block that, but he missed. This is a really great example of how good this camera is now. Don't interrupt me when I'm taunting. Dude tried to get fresh with me. So this is the Cursed Skull Chamber, which starts out here.
Of course it is.
It's the Cursed Skull Chamber, which is, again, like a really winning name. But yeah, you break it, and look at, like, I don't know, where are all these bones? Like, I guess this is, like, Purgatory. Well, that's another thing, is that this whole Temin Negru Tower is a lot like Purgatory, which in the Divine Comedy is a mountain that Dante climbs in order to reach heaven. Except in this case, we're climbing it to reach hell, but still, it's a lot like Purgatory, and I think that's another deliberate reference. Although the tower's design itself is based on, I forget the guy's name, but it's a famous painter who drew the Tower of Babel several times. And this is a crystal skull. And again, if you don't remember where you saw a skull shaped slot earlier, then you're just lost right now. What you just saw me do was a royal release, which means that I used my release counter ability at the right time. The better you do it, the further a dash you get. I wonder if I can counter the door. Let me see. You can! That's great, actually. Wow.
The music is gone.
Oh, it's back. It's back.
Oh, did you lose sound?
Yeah.
For a second.
Okay,
then
good.
stop.
As long as I came back. Because it's really important.
We do the word.
I think at one point the lyrics say "taste your face."
Taste. Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of interpretations. Taste.
Taste your face.
Delicious. Don't you give up on it. Another world awaits you. What is it with Japanese developers and loving, like, putting butt rock in their games? I mean, it's super appropriate here, but still.
I don't even know why, like, Uematsu just got into that, like, genre, like, right as Final Fantasy X was being developed, I think.
We even had, like, that rock band, like, that would do, like, rock versions of his
Black
songs.
Mages.
Like, Black Mages, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was actually pretty awesome back in high school. I doubt it holds up like I think it does.
I'm pretty sure they're still going, so...
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they're still going. I kind of wish, though, that they would branch out to stuff like, say, well, dearly friends or dearly beloved from Kingdom Hearts, or like Simple and Clean in that style. I feel it would be really good. Simple and Clean with death metal grunts.
When you walk away, you hear me say, baby, don't. Simple and clean is a way of making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it go.
I'd be for it. Oh, by the way, how long are we going into like the level or whatever?
I was gonna say, you guys probably want to call it here. I'm pretty near the end of the level, and then there's a boss fight, and that'd be a good place to call it. If you wanted to do this in 3 parts, that would be a really good place to call it, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're a little sick.
Yeah, I'm not like dying, but it'd probably be good for me to actually get to bed at a time reasonable.
Decide if we made him stay up, he would die. Oops, wrong weapon. As usual.
Ooh, if the Black Mages... Oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was just gonna say, if Black Mages branched out to other songs, they could do like a 80s love ballad, love rock ballad version of Fisherman's Horizon.
Ooh, that'd be so good though.
Like just really like Guns N' Roses balladed up.
Why don't they? There needs to be more like obviously there's shitty game remixes out there, but there needs to be more like ridiculous shitty game remixes out there.
Yeah, it seems like there's not a lot of good, like, you know, at least official remixes and different stuff and redos of Final Fantasy VIII music, which is crazy because that is the consistently best part of that game. Like, that's the only part of that game that I can say, like, no, that's good. It's pretty much good. Barring the weird songs like the S-Star theme or whatever.
What about the sexy porn music whenever you bust into the missile silo?
Hey, that's cheesy as hell, but I wouldn't say that's bad. I love it.
It really doesn't fit the scene at the
It's great though.
I just used my whole charged up thing to deflect his attack and do no damage. Oh well.
Whatever.
I've been playing around with this dude, he's fun. I love fighting these guys with low guard. Dijon, you're wrong. Purgatory was the whole second book in Inferno. And it wasn't a tower, it was a hill. But I think the principle is the same. And he was going up it. And he was meeting people in Purgatory. And then he got to Paradiso, and it got entirely into being, like, political allegories that were modern at the time. And I didn't read anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of the Divine Comedies, like, political allegories, but the ones in Inferno are, like, but there's people, like, dying in pools and, like, going through all these crazy punishments, and there's monsters, and it's awesome.
And there's, like, there's stuff that he's talking about, like, actual, like, religion and his beliefs on it, and what makes you... And, like, talking about, like, eternal torment. But by the time you get to Paradiso, literally all it is just, like... And then this political figure shows up who I want to like... Who's the grandfather of someone I want to like me. Like, okay, dude. Chill.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will be... We'll do this boss fight, and then we will cut it off. Which is... Actually, that'll be a really good place to cut it.
Okay, cool.
I'm down.
Vergil awaits us. It's actually the final boss fight with Vergil. Here we are.
Game is super short.
Yeah, it's not very long.
You had to train him up for this not very long game.
Oh, technically the fastest way to move is Stinger followed by a Royal Guard block, followed by another Stinger. Which looks really stupid.
The speed strat looked really nice.
This is reminiscent of the first Devil May Cry, just walking around the zoomed out camera angle, walking around some ancient building. Yeah.
You showed up.
You sure know how to throw a party.
Brother.
No drinks.
I would love it if there was a game where the guy does the brother thing and it just gets more and more ridiculous every time he's
There's a 5-second films of it. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's my favorite 5-second films. I'll try and start the next stream with it, actually.
How about a kiss from your little brother?
I thought I've seen all of them. Maybe I'm not... I don't remember what you're talking about.
How about a kiss from this? So...
Vergil's trying so hard to go with this party metaphor, and he's like... he's too lame for it.
You got that right.
Vergil is definitely, like, even more anime and uncool. So I actually suck at fighting Vergil with Royal Guard, so I'm probably gonna totally fuck this up. Yep.
That's fine.
Already.
Our mouths are weird. Blah, 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 blah.
What? Ah.
You know, Millie mentioned earlier that this is like Blade music, and it really is, kind of listening to it. This wouldn't be out of place in the Blade movie.
Yeah, I can see it. Oh shoot! I'm gonna get hit by that right away.
Why does he keep, like, sheathing his sword back? Like, he's gonna still need it for the rest of the fight, I feel.
Because he's like a samurai.
It actually, there are certain things he can only do from sheathing it. Like, and when he has the dimensional stuff he does is only when he sheathes it. I think it's, like, sort of implied to be part of the thing's ability. And also, when you play as him, you get, if you let him sheath it, you will get Devil Trigger back. Oh, so I died. Okay. Oh, I should note now that one of the things Special Edition did is it had gold mode and yellow mode. Yellow...
fuck you, colorblind people.
Well, no, it's the difference in what the golden orbs do, or yellow orbs. In yellow mode, which is the original, you get 3 yellow orbs, and you can use them to restart... what is it? You can use them to restart from where you were, or you can die. And in gold mode, you can use them to restart the beginning of the room you were at. Sorry. In gold mode, you could use the gold orbs to continue right from where you were. Like, just get up right away with full health. But you can't actually do that in this mode anyway, so...
Okay.
I'm gonna switch styles to something I'm more comfortable fighting him with, like Trickster. I wish I was good at fighting him with Royal Guard, because I think it'd be a really cool fight, but I'm really bad at it.
You heard it here, Frank's bad at video game.
You've heard it here first, folks.
Frank's not good at video game. He also doesn't have a video game.
I don't have a video game.
He
One of
doesn't
them.
have a video game.
Just the
He
one.
doesn't have one of them, just the one. He has Mr. Gimmick, but he doesn't have the other game.
Oh, dang, I'm getting beat up. It's probably time for me to stop too. I'll jump on your head a bit. Oh, I just did a move that I forgot to mention because it's hidden. But if you have Rebellion equipped and you're facing away from someone and you're not locked on, I'm getting beat up, and you're not locked on, you will you'll do a weird little kick and turn around to face them. Here, I'll do it. I don't really know what the point of it is. I think it's because he does it in a cutscene at one point, and so like, well, we gotta put it in the game because it really important that.
That's fine. It's not a matter that you have to do it, it's just that he can. You have the option.
Yes. Well, mostly people do it accidentally. Something to note is that when Vergil goes back, he will auto parry you, but he won't parry your gunshots, so you can kind of unload shotguns while he's standing there dazed. Also, another thing to note, partway through this fight, his hair stops being spiky because the rain mats it down. And now his hair looks just like Dante's.
That was just so they could try out that tag group. It's like symbolism.
Well, it shows up in the cutscene after, too.
Oh, I see.
But I think
Well,
it is,
state
the
of
idea
your-
is to emphasize that they're very similar. Well, another thing
State
that...
of your hair is very important in anime.
It's super
true.
important. Other thing to note is that he hits one of these statues with his sword. With any of his sword attacks, it will fall apart and get chopped in half. But like as a delayed thing. Like right there.
Oh,
There we go.
Anime style.
Anime style.
You animated that thing.
He gets so many invincibility frames.
I get it.
Why do you refuse to gain power? The power
Anime.
of our fathers,
Very anime.
Florida.
He lined
soon
up
as-
the bullets
Yeah.
and threw them at him.
I don't have a
That's
father.
amazing.
Whenever Vergil shows up, the universe warps to be even more anime.
That's his demon power.
That's his Devil Trigger special ability. His Yamato actually does have, when you play as him, the dark element, which none of Dante's weapons do. And there's a few enemies that get attacked by it, just to show he's dark.
Foolishness, Dante.
It's the opening cutscene.
Yep, we're back to opening cutscene.
Might controls everything,
Game's looping back around.
and without strength, you cannot protect anything. Let alone yourself.
Crazy eyes.
This time when you stab me, it hurts.
Yeah, all the other times I was fine, but I guess that one really hurt.
Yeah. Maybe it's a special sword? I don't know.
And he does this slick move with his hair. Which
It's a demon sword.
It's
Oh.
I love that. Like, that doesn't work. That's not how you do that with hair, but okay.
Now I am on model.
I'm sorry, my hair is not anime anymore. fix that.
Now the spell Sparta cast will be broken.
Arkham's just like the creepy
It's
man.
stabbing me! You asshole!
Bum.
I see a devil inside you.
So you notice,
awakened as
well, you will notice in a second, the sword actually does change shape, and I think it does in-game too. Its model changes.
Wait. We should leave.
Is it Alistair?
We have all that we
Nope. Well, no,
Or should-
Alistair was a different demon that you got from one, but it's awakened rebellion now. And
Oh, okay.
basically, this is the point in the game where you get Devil Trigger unlocked. You're not supposed to have it until now.
Oh.
But I used a Game Shark. A PC Game Shark. I plugged it into USB to my PC.
Let's get out of here, Shaft. I mean Arkham.
Demons. Knock knock, who's there? Demons.
Ah, demon.
Demons.
Demon.
Demon.
So I just want to do the cutscene for the start of the next level, because I think that would be a really good place to end it.
Okay.
And also, do you guys want to do this again Thursday? That would work for me, but I don't want to...
I think that should work for me.
Yeah, I think
Update
that'll work.
changes.
Preemptively, anybody who wants to watch the second of 3 parts of this, tune in Thursday, I guess. Unless that's not what happens.
And in which case, don't do it.
In which case,
Or
don't do that. Subscribe to this
Bads.
channel. Anyways, let me hit next.
Bads.
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 Bad.
So this is Dante awakening his devil trigger power. That you totally didn't know he had before, because you haven't seen it.
I was wondering why it said Devil Maker.
And he also rips off his sleeve, which I believe is reflected in his model from now on.
He totally hasn't turned into a Shin Megami Tensei demon before. Until now.
No, definitely not. If you thought you saw that, you were hallucinating.
It was just a lucky guess.
These lyrics!
And I think from this point on, the battle music changes to this song. I know that there are different battle musics throughout the game. And I also know that they don't loop correctly, because it's the PC version. So sometimes you'll hear it, like, not loop right. This cutscene is amazing because he jumps off the tower for no reason. Like, I don't really know where Vergil went. Maybe Vergil jumped off the tower. but he just seems to
You
do it.
awakened your demon powers, wouldn't you jump off a skyscraper?
He's like, this would be totally sick, I guess.
I just got stabbed in the chest by my brother! Whee! I gotta say, I like Dante's attitude.
He's so happy about being his demon powers coming back.
I'm just gonna devil may cry down this building. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't say, like, that's the best way to fly.
Well, he might have said that. If this
He's
next
thinking
thing
it at least.
didn't happen.
I know, I think this is the song that plays during the Marvel Snap.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Is he catching on fire? What is...
Well, yeah, because of the friction from the air.
Sure.
Just give it a second.
That's pretty good. This is the best game ever made.
Oh, hello. Num.
That just happens.
Do we continue?
So that's the end of the game.
That's what I
Dante,
was talking about.
Dante gets eaten.
So good.
So, wait, I know it's not in Dante's Inferno, but is that another biblical reference, like Jonah, I guess?
Well, this is... The thing's called Leviathan. So yes.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it basically
there you
is.
Will Dante burst out a giant fish face? Find out next time.
Just go to mission start so I can quit. Oops, that's not quite the ability I wanted. Yeah, so we will probably finish on Thursday. I can show you the costumes right here. You can select them. There's Shirtless Dante. There's Devil May Cry 1 Dante, who uses Force Edge. There's Devil May Cry 2 Dante, who I don't know if it happens in game, but I like that they gave him a grim, boring expression on his face. There's Super Dante, where you have always Devil Trigger. Oh, and there's Sparta. That's what Sparta looks like. He had a monocle, I guess.
He's a gentleman.
And then that's like Super Sparta. And then there's another one you get for beating Heaven or Hell, but I haven't done that one yet. So yeah, we'll get a little bit further through this on Thursday probably, and then we'll try and finish before I leave next week.
That's a good idea.
So, any final words, everybody?
Too
bad. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.